Hello, everyone, and welcome back with What Team Comp to Temptations of Ait'seh. How are you all doing today?
I forgot to
Morning.
abuse you before we started.
Yeah, I was
I
gonna say, but it didn't
noticed.
do anything.
No,
I-
the worst part is I thought his mic cut out because I saw his mic make noise, but I heard no sound.
Yeah,
So I'm
'cause I
just
was trying
like,
to
did
think
Karma
of-
literally just?
every time,
I didn't give
no,
you the
every time I
chance.
think of every time I do it, I think of it on the spot.
if you want to know something, Butters, I almost just mine are never dirty because my brain just goes to food because I'm fat. But I was about to scream apples, and I'm like, nah, I gotta do Don dirty like that.
You make me hungry right before, so instead of saying hello,
I was
everyone,
just
I'm
gonna
gonna be like,
scream,
just now I'm hungry.
Alright, where we leave off, lads.
Alright, so when we last left off, you had been in the tavern in a mountain, victorious in combat and able to be pleasantly acquainted with the Marquise, as well as to be offered a potential contract with the Marquise to do missions and such under him. Currently, the only person this invitation has been formally invited to was to Nivara, but she was planning on going back to speak with him about that later. There was
I need to stop attracting elf boys.
there was a few other things that had gone on as well between because she is not here with us this day, Virdrick getting to whine about them young whippersnappers to a young Goliath.
Again, I kind of happy that wisdom save failed and no Nivara just kept her mouth shut. Like,
It was too perfect. And our good old buddy Bo kept looking around for someone in the crowd just to see if there was anyone watching them. But with the way they were looking around thus far, it's been pretty peaceful in the mountain. That being said, you guys did still have the mission in Tamdov to look around more and to seek out these nobles to see if you can find them, figure out what's going on. And so a new day dawns, and what would you like to do?
I mean, Bo and I are just getting back from buying those fucking gyms and getting the book fixed.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Sorry, I was like spending a minute just to remember. Remember Kalia. And what she wanted to do.
Blacksmith.
She's gonna go to the magic section, and she's going to search for a 100 gold piece pearl.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
Okie dokie.
It's not bad.
It's still not rolled for me.
It's 21.
21.
Yeah.
Alright.
21.
Why is my computer not showing the roll?
And now try
Maybe refresh. Yeah.
Hold on, let me see something here.
Refresh.
This is being weird. What is going on? Wait. That'll do it.
What did you do, Guru?
I may have still been on lemon roll.
Jesus.
Nice.
Let me just refresh the page real quick. Give myself
Oh,
a-
that's a real lemon, alright.
To be fair,
Epic gamer moment.
You
To be
did
fair.
a real lemon.
the starting screen is the
Yeah.
same screen as Temptations.
Yeah.
The only difference is that the lemon roll has more on the bottom, and I haven't zoomed in more on Tamdov where you guys currently are, because that's what I was
Uh,
thinking of at the
Okay.
time. You know.
uh, uh.
Yep. Let me scroll up again so you guys can see that, because that flashed through pretty quick. Yep. They're up. There's that 21 the clear rolled. You're looking for like a kind of a pawn shop jeweler sort of place, a place that might have such an item, correct?
Yeah.
Making your way in to the Magic District, you eventually find a little shop that is perched more towards the center square area. I'll work on it, no worries. It's decent enough. I wouldn't say a terribly large type of shop, but it is big enough to suit your needs from what you can tell. Upon entering the place, you see a human with very greasy, slick back hair that has like a few parts of it that are just kind of sticking out. Looks like he greased it up and tried to keep it pinned down, but it's just not agreeing with his desires, and it's just sticking out with like 3 different cowlicks just kind of popping up in all different directions. When he smiles, he's got a golden tooth, and he's missing another tooth. Just kind of rubs his hands together slowly as you enter. 2 gold bands around his wrist as he just kind of smiles. Welcome! How can I be of assistance this fine day?
Do you have any pearls
Pearls, we've got
for
plenty of pearls.
identification?
Oh, for identification, I've got a few. Most of them are going to be a touch expensive. We're nearer to the coast than some, but pearls ain't exactly easy to come by for that particular specification, if you catch my drift. Hey, come here. Let me show you what I've got.
I only need one.
I figured you only needed one. I mean, once you use it, you're able to use it as many times as is pleasing you. He walks over and he starts pulling out a box. He looks through it for a second, shoves it back in, reaches down, pulls out another one, starts rummaging through it. You're only saying you need one, right? I'll take the silence as a yes, no worries.
Lord. NPR! NPR has vanished. And there is a
What
bird
is
that
up
is hitting
with
my
these-
window.
What is up with these people just smoke bombing out of here?
No,
Not
right?
even smoke bombing. Like, this is so quiet. A smoke bomb at least would let you know that something's
Hello?
going on.
There
There
you
you go.
are.
There we go.
Oh, what? Okay, that's weird.
He asked. He said, "You only need one, right?"
Well, I was just out of character, just thinking like, I was originally thinking, have I seen like anyone try to use identify before? But we haven't had a pearl, so no. So, yeah, I think, yeah, I'll get like 2 just in case.
We're getting 2 big spender up in the house today, and he reaches into a box, just kind of fiddles around with it for a second, before reaching in, pushing the box back, and he steps over and he sets down in front of you 2 pearls. They're about a little bit like the size of your thumbnail. So they're reasonably big, but not super big. As he kind of sets them down, just kind of like playing with them gently, he leans down to keep his hands near them, clearly to make sure that you don't try and just run out and steal them away. As he just kind of shifts slightly. For each of these, actually, if you're getting both of them, that'll be 300 gold.
300.
Out of character, odd that 2 pearls worth 100 gold each or 300 gold.
Yeah. I was thinking about
Literally in the name.
I mean, do you have any that are worth like more like 100 gold pieces each?
Yes, he taps the table and he's like he keeps staring at you as he slaps the table next to the pearls.
But 200 gold piece pearls don't make 300 gold pieces.
200 gold? No, if they were 200 gold, they'd be 400 gold.
No, 2 100 gold pieces.
Yes, but I'm one of the only providers of such pearls, and as such, I am able to accurately value these as being necessary for the spell that you're casting. I can confirm with guarantee that these are suitable to your needs, and as such there's a markup for the time that I spent to ensure that when you cast a spell it'll be successful.
Can I try and insight this first?
You don't need to insight. He literally just admitted that he's marking that shit up.
Yes.
I mean, if you'd prefer to just go get your own pearl and try and use it and find out that it's only worth maybe 50 gold pieces at a reasonable selling price. Ooh.
I mean, technically, like, the worth of money is kind of subjective, really.
Yes, that's why I
Technically-
make sure to ensure that when I'm giving you a pearl, it is worth the amount that it is specified for.
Technically, like, the fact that it says it's worth 100 gold pieces means that, like, it kind of just means that the size of the pearl varies as opposed to the economy.
Yes, and I, as I mentioned before, have gone through scrupulous training to verify if a pearl is worth the necessary amount with which to cast your spell and have it go off hitchlessly. If you prefer to go buy from a second-hand, pain-in-the-ass wallmonger, by all means.
The
Okay,
best part is, isn't there another jeweler in town other than the stick?
so what if I bought a pearl that was worth less than 100 gold? Then you'd sell it to me for about 100 gold. So it would be worth 100 gold.
Holy
Do you
shit.
think me a barbarian? Are you saying
Economics
that
would
you
clear.
believe that
if
I
you-
would mark up the price of a pearl that is not worth your time? My lady, I am offended. I am insulted. I feel like you have done me dirty. I can't believe you would say such things to my face. That you think that I would be upselling a pearl that would not be worth your time.
This is a technique called gaslighting, kids. Don't do this.
I want a pearl that's worth 100 gold,
And I have 2 in front of you.
but they're not worth 100 gold. They're worth 150 gold.
Yes, because they are worth 100 gold for the price of your spell, and they're worth 50 gold for me doing the extra work to ensure that when you cast a spell, you do not have to come back to me and say they're duds.
This is literally a case of a finder's fee.
Basically.
Literally is.
Claire, I'm begging you, bring one of us back so we can just put this fucker in his place. I don't care if it's a deem for intimidation or me for persuasion.
Yeah, but that's the thing. We can't intimidate this out of him. It's literally him running his business the way it should be run. He's just making a profit. He's making a very high profit, but it's a profit still.
Oh, you even admit this shit is shady!
Oh, he's absolutely shady. But,
Okay,
I
hold
mean,
on a
he's
second.
legally shady.
That's not a good kind of shady, that's just a lawyer!
no, it's not.
Are you saying that the 50 gold of my time is not worth it to you? Of me casting the spell Identify to ensure that this pearl was worth your time? Is that what you're saying? I could sell you a spell scroll of Identify. That's worth 50 gold. Or I can sell you a pearl worth 150 gold.
So you do admit it's worth 150 gold.
I literally have said that if you wish for the two of them, it is 300 gold. You do not get a discounted pricing for buying two of them.
She just puts her hand to the side of her face in kind of shock, just like, what?
I think you broke her.
I'm gonna be back in a minute. I need to think about this.
Take your time. I'm the
I
only
wa-
shop around that you'll find that has the appropriate and tried and tested.
I just walk out. I'm not even listening.
Come again!
Question, Guru, is that the guy I didn't even question and just bought the ring from?
No, this is a different guy.
Okay.
This guy's in the
I-
Arcana district specifically. You were in the actual
You
trade
see,
district.
That's where you went wrong.
I walk up to Nivara and I just kind of
I'm
grab her
assuming
by
you
the
went back
hand.
to the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I sort of grab her by the hand and just bring her along.
Where y'all going?
I don't know.
I need your help.
Oh, okay.
There's this guy who's selling. He's selling pearls worth 100 gold pieces for 150 gold. It's
doesn't make
just
much
making me hurt.
I got my diamonds for an extremely reasonable and accurate price.
Let's see if we can find his jeweler first before we
What?
spend money on this guy.
Wait, yeah, look, follow me, and I'll just start heading towards the place I was.
Zadim just kind of sits wherever the heck he is, very confused.
Come on, Zadim!
Alright. And I get up and I follow them, and I presume Bright Eyes follows me.
Naturally. Virdrick follows after you guys because after taking a few drinks of his morning drink, just kind of looks at you all just like, they're gonna get into trouble. And drinks it all back and follows after you guys.
I need the alcohol.
I don't even think it's alcohol.
So I suppose we go to the jewelers.
The actual jewelers. Okay. So you head to the jewelers. The place is just opening, so the guy looks a little like, oh, hold on, I'll be with you in a moment. Hold on. They're clearly working around to just quickly get everything set up. Just a minute. Make yourselves, comfortable. Take a look around. Please don't touch any of the merchandise just yet. I'm still seeing everything. Hold on a second.
I
Take your
turn around
time.
and make sure that Bright Eyes doesn't touch anything, because just because she's smart doesn't mean she follows directions.
I'm sorry, all I could think was, ooh, shiny.
And I say, Bright Eyes, please do not touch anything. I have money now, but I don't have that much money.
I don't have enough money to let you lose at a fucking jewelry shop.
I'm basically broke at this point. Nah, I'm
Worry.
kidding. I got money.
Oh,
still.
yeah.
Alright.
There's the shopkeeper around.
Yeah, she just.
he's the one
they
who's
just said,
speaking.
hang on.
Oh,
Yeah, he's the one who's speaking.
Excuse.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah. Go ahead and throw your questions. I'm just setting a few things up.
We
Do
need
you
a
have
pearl.
pearls worth 100 gold?
Oh, no. I've got smaller pearls. Most of the ones that are of the larger variety, got bought out. I've got a string of little ones that they're not
Wait,
It's
specifically
fine.
a pearl or
Just
wait,
a pearl.
Wait. Who bought them out?
someone else. They paid good gold for them, and well, they had the gold for them, so.
What did your shopkeeper look like, Kalir?
What did he look like?
Do you remember what he looked like?
You didn't
Slick back
describe them.
hair.
I-
Yes, he did. Slick
did.
back hair.
Did you?
Greasy.
Parted in a few different
Didn't hear it.
places.
Where
It might have been right where you were cutting out.
Where you cutting
Oh,
it?
the
Yeah.
greasy,
Yes.
greasy guy. Yeah.
Did it look like you said greasy guy, slick back hair?
Yeah.
Did it look like some greasy guy with slick back hair? Probably looked slightly like a sleazeball.
I mean, I'm not gonna judge a fella based off their appearance. I mean, he had slick back hair that kind of was poking up a little bit, kind of untamed sort of hair.
Oh, he bought him out.
Nivara stands up, cracks her neck, and goes, "Alright, now what shop did you go to again?"
Could I?
Hey, whoa.
I'm not gonna beat him up, don't worry.
Looking between Kalir and Nivara. Whoa.
I won't
Yeah.
beat him up.
Did you? Were you the ones that like inspected them so that they were worth 100 gold?
No, he specifically came in with his own jeweler's kit and inspected each of them before buying them.
Let's go see him, why don't we?
He actually did the work. This man is legitimately running his business.
Yeah, I
say we
I
just buy
just
the
can't-
pearl for. How much is it? How much is he charging?
150.
And you only want to pay 100?
Yeah.
So we convince him.
He takes out 50 gold pieces and just says, take it.
Bo.
I don't use money. Take it. I'll
I
survive
don't
off of-
use money.
I've used.
No, I have
I've survived
more
off
gold
of a
than
gold
you.
piece a month for a good 10 years now.
I have more gold than you. I can afford
don't
it.
care.
I just don't want to spend that much.
He's just running a business. I don't want to plague him.
But
If he wants
God,
to upcharge
a
and he-
pearl worth 100 gold is worth 100 gold, not 150 gold. That's not how it works.
it's just upcharging. I'm a salesman. Trust me, I know these things.
All of this is going over, above, and
But
beside
then-
the team's head because he lives in the
But then you could
Where-
just
where
buy a
was the
small
shop?
pearl that's worth 100 gold. There's always a pearl that's worth 100 gold. Even
It
if
is
it's-
worth 100, but he is upcharging it to 150.
We're not getting here. Don, can I go out and find the shop where this pearl is?
Welcome to D&D Economics 101.
Love you guys.
Like, out
We're-
of character,
we're
this
leg-
doesn't make sense to me either.
We're legit not getting anywhere. Can I try and find this fucking shop while they do this?
If you're walking off, he notices you're walking off.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't care
care.
if he's,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I would.
I don't care if he's
walk
in a
out the sh-
conversation. Yeah.
I would walk out the shop and say thank you.
I'm not going to hurt him.
No-
if I
no
can't
worries.
persuade him, I'll
the
pay
team
for
thanks
it.
the man for his time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just have fun.
I give him 5 silver pieces for his time.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Please, by all means, just be careful and have a nice day.
Thank you for the ring.
Of course. I hope it fits.
I'm getting that worked out.
Of course.
I also find it funny that he didn't ask for a finger size when I ordered it.
And to be fair, he realized afterwards, but I'm guessing you were just like, nope, I already got this. Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Thank you. If Valyra points it out to me, I'll go to the shop. If she doesn't, I'll search for it.
Also, Gur, I want to say, does it
Colette
kind of
would
make
point it out.
Gur, it is one of the few characters in D&D that even like, oh, you're in conversation, you wouldn't notice me leaving. I'd argue Bo would.
Bo
still.
would with his passive perception.
Yeah,
You're
he's
observant.
One of the few characters. Yeah, he's one of the few characters.
Navarre's not trying to sell. She's just like, okay, this is going nowhere, and I have very little patience, so... and
It's-
I'm outpaced.
It's pointed out to you.
I'll walk in.
Dude is still there, just managing his shop. As you enter the place, he like looks up at you, seems to like pause for a second, just try and slick back his hair more. It makes a few extra tendrils pop up. Like you can see him like visibly like flinch from the feeling of it just kind of like popping out of place, and just like,
Wait,
I am
is
trying
he
so hard.
grooming himself for the pretty lady?
I mean, to be fair, he was grooming himself for the pretty lady before. It's just this time it had a few more pop-ups of hair, and he's just like, I'm trying to make myself look good for the customer, and
Oh,
He's-
Navarre is absolutely putting on her best. Like, just...
Mhm.
Young lady that doesn't know much better.
Mm-hmm.
She'll walk up to the counter. Excuse me.
Yes, how can I be of assistance?
Well, I mean, I've been looking around for a jewel store for a pearl that is worth 100 gold, but it seems like everyone has been bought out.
Yes, they would be. Are you?
Do you happen
if
to
you're
know where I could get one?
right here. Granted, there is going to be some extra charge because I did make sure that each of the pearls with which to use this is meticulously been tested to ensure that you have no setbacks when casting the spell, and of course, making sure that its value is relevant to your needs.
How much?
150 gold.
Ooh, I'm just a little bit short. I mean, do you think that you could lower the amount just a smidgen?
Nope.
That
That is
Not
the
even
price
for
that I've.
Marquise's friends.
Especially not for Marquise's friends.
Ah,
No
It's a
offense to the Marquise. Of course, Marquise is a great man. But that does not mean that I'm going to give them preferential treatment.
I love how Bo's just like, I'm ready in case this bitch just goes over the counter.
Yeah, no, Bose. There's a reason because of this party, I will 100% of the time always have calm emotions prepared. You'll never catch me without it. Mark my word.
I will
Also,
mark the day.
Paris, I
What?
like how you said in the chat that your persuasion is 11, and that immediately made me think you have a +1 modifier. Why are you trying to get her to get you?
No, fucker. I remember saying what my modifier to persuasion was, and Limey's freak out like, wait, what? It's like, I have a 5 to my charisma and expertise. It makes sense.
Kalia just
Why so stiff with the price, if I might ask?
Hi there.
Stop.
Welcome back. Do you have a change of heart?
She doesn't even say anything. She puts down 150 gold and picks up one of the files.
Yeah, he's going to go over to pick him up. But before he does, as he's turning around, he's like, do you have a preference in color or style? Some people like to wear it like as a ring or as a necklace or as a earring to have it ornamental style. Some people would prefer to just have it in a component pouch. I got a few extra things just in case. Plus, we got a few different colors, including pink, black, and white. Also,
How,
one in
like-
blue.
How shady does this fucker look?
Roll an insight check. I mean, just appearance-wise, he looks like that sort of guy who should be, like, super shady, but the way that he's, like, everything is set out in, like, a way that, like, looking around as you're actually looking at him to try and see, like, does this place feel shady? This place feels like someone was OCD and put everything in its particular place.
Oh,
took everything
no,
in its
he's
particular.
that.
Yeah, he's that sort of
I'm just
person.
passive inciting, and from what I'm gathering, this dude's just trying to run a legit business. So I'm just gonna go like,
I feel like it's almost a neurotic level of tidiness.
Yes.
I wanna.
That's terrifying.
Bo will walk up and like, kind of have his feet dangling as he puts all like his weight on the counter
Mhm.
as his like feet are just kind of dangling. He goes,
How the
so I'll like he hops up a little bit and just like holding on to the edge.
Now, Mara's looking at you kind of in shock at the fact that she just watched someone hop up and hang on.
If you need to see the counter better, there's a footstool you can use if you like.
Oh, fine. He'll take the footstool and put it underneath him. All right. Good business strategy. I actually enjoy it. You make sure your product is very well before you go, before you do it. So, do you do things for trade?
He gives a little nod at the acknowledgement, and then kind of pauses for a second, crossing his arms slowly. It depends on the trade. I've put a lot of investment into my work here, into the make upkeep and sell of various items. I stay away from diamonds as much as I can. Obviously, there's a few spells that us of the arcane are very privy to, but we have jewelers and such who will make it for wonderful women, and I want to ensure that they are still well kept for, obviously. But for things like pearls, it's better to go in knowing that the pearl will be useful, if you catch my drift. That being said, what were you looking to offer?
He'll open his bag and just take out a jar with a bunch of like pickled fish in it.
Why?
That's what I have.
The GM is very interested in seeing how this goes now.
This is Bo's rations.
That was like out of character. Why? I was wondering why you said a jar.
This is his ration.
Offering his
I have this. He takes out another jar. I have this, and it's salted fish, like a fish jerky.
Khaled
And-
just kind of takes the pearl and is gonna walk out.
Okay.
Yeah.
He kind of stares at him for a moment, and like with your passive, there's like wheels that seem to be like turning in his head, just like trying to gauge and calculate this. Like he's not sure what to think. Like,
He's
just
math lady memeing.
he's like trying. He's like, how much would this actually go for? What use does this have? And so you said you put out 2 jars of pickled fish.
One of pickled, one of salted.
1 pickled, 1 salted. Okay. And how many fish are in the jar? Or is it just one big fish?
It's mini fish, like yeah.
I'm just doing as many
How many?
fish as his rations.
How many fish? Like, if you don't have a specific number, I'll just roll a d4 and see how many.
Roll a d20, they're anchovies.
Oh my
The
god.
idea this is they're smaller fish.
Of smaller fish? Okay, I'll roll a d8.
Yeah, but just like something that'd be in the waters where he's from.
Like
Idea is
smaller,
that he
but
caught-
still big enough to be like hand size of a
Yeah.
medium-sized creature,
Caught
not your
them.
own.
He's salted them all, which he's made like a jerky out of some of them, and then he's pickled some of them, so he has like longer lasting fish. So it's just his own personal rations, you know.
Right.
So how many fish that'd be? Not sure, but it's an amount.
Not sure. He seems to be ignoring the salted fish, but he picks up the pickled fish. Kind of like turns them over in his hands slowly, just kind of staring at them, like inquisitive, curious, confused for sure.
Oh, also, and he'll pull out a shell. It's one of his brochures. It's a possibility of information on a up and coming divine force.
He takes that and kind of like looks at it for a second, like, I'll read the rest of it later. Forgive me, the divine perplexes me at times. He kind of just sets it off to the side, just kind of passively, just like no malice or no like, ugh, can't believe this.
Insight to see if he's actually gonna take a look at that later.
Sure.
Same.
Navarre, he looks like he's like not really paying attention to the shell. He's more interested in the fish. Bo, he's setting it in a very specific spot, which means that he's either possibly going to forget about it later, or more likely he's setting a spot where he can see it because it's in the front end of his shop where he will have to work. So he'll eventually either see it and be like, wait, hold on, that's right, I said I would look at this again, or move it somewhere else where he'll deal with it later.
Alright.
Eventually let me actually roll something real quick. 20. Alright. Thinking it over, you can see that he seems to be like nodding his head slowly. Kind of like considering. Kind of like, yeah, maybe. I mean, yeah. I can definitely try some experimentation with this. Here, reaches down and he pulls out a bag of gold, and you see him meticulously, almost Caleb style, just 1, 2, 3, and gives you 16 gold.
I look at it and say, I'm sorry, I must decline.
Why is that?
Well, you see, the reason I was bargaining was for somebody that's already left the shop with the things she needed.
Well, give this back to her then. Consider it a portionary return for an idea you've just given me.
Do I get to keep my fish?
I'll give you 8 if you wish to keep your fish. Takes half of it and
Alright.
just kind of sets it to the side and pulls it away.
Okay. He keeps his fish.
Pleasure talking to you.
Well done.
You. My name's Bo. He'll hold out his claw hand.
He takes your claw hand.
hand.
He takes your claw hand.
Yeah, Bo's left-handed, so it's his instinct.
Yeah, and this guy, no qualms, just reaches out and grabs your claw hand. My name is, well, I won't give you my full name, but my name is Jehonan. Hold on.
Jehovah.
Jehonan.
I just
We
realized
already have Allah. Guru, it's getting too much
Her
over
name is
here.
Ale.
Yeah,
I
it
fucking
is.
said it wrong. I misunderstood how he was pronouncing it.
Yeah, it's meant to be Ale. He is Jehonan.
John.
Yes.
Yeah, in his mind, in Bo's mind, he's just John.
Yeah, if you want to call him just John, that's completely fine. Yeah, but his name is Jehonan.
I realize that there is probably... I don't know what the fuck kind of cat Arcus is.
What city are we in?
You are currently in the Tavern in the Mountain. That is the title of the area.
Don? That's a very stupid question. What the fuck kind of cat is Arcus? Because I don't know what he looks like right now.
Tabby.
Didn't we discuss that he's a dog?
You said that he can turn into a dog, a cat, and a hawk.
What kind of cat did you want him to look like?
Fucking no.
That's what I'm
I don't
asking
care
you.
what kind, just make it
Tortoise
fat.
shell.
Just make it fat.
Just make
Then-
it fat. That's all.
Then by all
Really-
intents and purposes, he should look like a fucking Maine Coon.
Make it look like a really wrinkly Sphinx cat.
He's literally a small creature, which means that he's a rather large cat.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Doesn't
God
mean they
damn it,
can't
Pat.
be really
Make the cat
wrinkly.
thick.
Butter,
Say
don't
it
say
with
that.
me. Make
Don't say that.
Give it some little cheeks that could clap.
I'll figure this out later.
Oh, make it a munchkin.
I was asking you, Dom, because you picked his dog breed, so I thought you had something else in mind.
Maine Coon was the one I initially had in my mind, but I was
Okay.
wanting to hear what your thoughts were.
Look up like a
Norwegian
serval's a
forest
medium-sized
cat.
creature.
Mm.
Norwegian forest cats have.
That would work as well.
They're also really big.
I think I like
Norwegian
Maine Coon.
forest
just because-
cats are Norway's answer to the Maine Coon.
I don't know. I didn't know what a Maine Coon was, so I looked it up, and I thought it was a cat with a mullet. I'm gonna be real honest.
I mean, technically speaking, you're not wrong.
Brother.
Hey, brother.
Jeez, no.
That's not a small creature, my god!
Yeah, that'd be a medium creature.
Now I need at some point get a. I need to get a cat and name it Macho Man.
Yes.
No.
Listen here.
Oh.
Make it voice activation, like I set up like a laser type thing, and whenever a door gets opened, I purposely step over it whenever I walk in my house, but the dog or cat can't. So whenever it triggers the laser, it just goes, "Oh yeah!" It's like a Ramsey feature.
My god.
So yes, you got 8 gold from you gave him an idea, and he's basically like putting down a payment, just being like, yeah, for the idea.
He will try to chase back up with Kalir.
Okay.
Kalir,
It's not hard. I think
hey.
Kalir would be finding a place to get Tinker's tools.
I'm
and
heading back to the
these
tavern. I'm gonna try
tools.
something.
What do I have to do to track her?
She's a giant orc female with bright red
could
hair
just
and
ask
almost
around.
gold-colored armor.
That
You could
is
ask-
disadvantage. That's
She-
me. Clang, 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 clang.
Also, asking
I mean,
around
she's
doesn't
not
work well for
stealthing.
Bo.
I'm just saying, like, she's quite distinctive, so, you know, it'd be easy to find her.
With your passive, you'd probably be able to find her.
All right.
Um,
Hey, Kalir. Hey. He
hey.
does like a really loud whistle, which I can't physically do, but he can.
Oh no, I know the pain.
Yeah,
He does it with the claw hand.
Yeah, he does.
obviously.
I mean, I'm kind of running off how like my own perception, how like sometimes it takes 2 or 3 times before I like actually hear the whistle, and then it takes another time before I realize it might be for me.
Makes sense with your perception.
But yeah, eventually I turn around.
I got you 8 gold. And he just holds 8 gold out in his hand.
No, you keep it. It's fine.
No, it was I got you to pay less for your pearl.
Really?
Yeah, I gave him an idea for something, and he wanted to give 8 gold back since I gave him the idea.
I thought he gave you 16
okay.
gold.
He
I
didn't get the
chose to
fish.
keep the fish. I
Oh.
chose to keep the fish. The fish are mine and mine alone.
Okay. Color takes the gold.
All right, well, we're all gonna be at the tavern. Have a good one. And he just like offers a high five with the, or technically it's a low five for you.
Color like gives a high five and says, "Goodbye."
Virdrik's just like coming up behind everyone, just like, so are we staying here another night, or are we actually going into Tamdov?
I'm heading to.
Who?
I've disappeared into my tavern room. You know what I'm doing, Don.
And there goes Navarra.
I can't.
At some
remember-
point, we have to talk to the Marquis guys.
Well, Color's
No,
still
the thing
shopping,
is-
okay.
The thing is the exact thing that the Marquis said is, my guards will find you and bring you back to me.
Mhm.
So she's waiting on a fucking guard while she's trying to figure something out real quick.
Okay,
Color is gonna buy Tinker's tools and Thieves' tools.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Actually, roll another investigation check. We can see if we can help speed this up a wee bit. Alright. Looking around, you're not gonna find thieves' tools just willy-nilly.
Yeah!
That's not something you're just going to find.
I mean, you know, lockpick kits are found in some stores. So.
If they don't like warlocks, I don't know how much more they like thieves.
In a city like this, where everyone can be drunk a lot, it's
Thief.
yeah, having thieves in your town probably isn't going to have the best for keeping things on the up and up in this sort of town.
I
That
mean,
being said,
you know,
You said you're also looking for
Since
what
when?
other tool?
since when did Thieves Guild actually
Care about
pay
that?
attention? Yeah. Tinker's tools.
Let's see. Tinker, 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 tinker. Right.
I don't know why, but I just had a flashback to Rending where we chased, or excuse me, rather, the girls of the group chased down some poor schlock getting chased by other rogues. And Meg's thought was, can I side to them in Thieves' Camp? Who responds? They all do. Oh!
Including the guy who was being chased. I remember that. A Tinker's tools, it's not like it's going to be super hard to find someone who has them. There's actually a whole block where there's rock gnomes who are just tinkering away and doing all their stuff. There are a few people who are willing to sell you brand new kits for 50 gold. There's a few who are willing to send you more well-used Tinker's Tools kits, probably from when they were younger, that might be missing a few pieces for a little bit less, but it would be missing like key components of the tools.
She'll buy brand new ones.
Drop down 50 gold and you can have yourself some Tinker's Tools.
Wait, Don, no, I know exactly what cat Arcus would be, and I'm
Yeah.
sending it in shitpost.
Okie doke.
And then after that, she would want to buy metal, but we can move on to someone else for now.
Yeah, we're moving forward back to Navarre real quick.
Why would you do this to me?
Hmm.
I tried to send a picture, and it said, your files are too large!
Good.
Because your files are too large.
Oh my. Large files.
God damn
The
it.
file size is too large, it won't fit. I'm so
There you go,
sorry.
Don.
Not wrong.
Uh-huh. I can see
I'm
that.
so-
I thought of Munchkin cats and like would be the
Oh.
most defenseless looking little stubby-toed bastard.
Wants
Is
to
that
make
a-
you think that he's
Is that
innocent when he's
Scottish fold?
It's a Scottish
think,
fold Munchkin cat. I killed him if you are.
Oh, Scottish fold Munchkin bobcat.
You just sound like you're creating a DBZ movie.
Pretty much, yeah.
So it's just
so
like
Navarra.
you have
Go ahead.
short ears, short legs, and a short tail.
Yeah.
So you head back to your room, primarily.
Primarily.
Mm-hmm.
Where'd everybody go?
And I'm guessing you're looking to tap on the window of Auntie's reception, essentially.
Let me in. Let me in. Yes. I have a few questions.
Roll a D100.
Oh no.
Alright. Let me roll something here.
I just
Arcus
imagine
is
hear
just
a
sitting-
loud like jingling from upstairs. Like,
the rooms are soundproofed, so
oh, it's a nice bar.
it's not the bar.
I know.
It's the inn. The inn is
Yeah.
has it with thick stone
I'm just
to prevent
I'm
sound
just
from coming from the
concerned because
bar.
I've done this before.
It's just like I just hear. I'm like, what is happening?
You see Arcus just kind of like shifting, kind of waiting, and you're just kind of like, come on. Then after a couple moments, all of a sudden you just see Arcus' eyes just kind of glow and just like opens his mouth, and there's like this tinkling bell sound, and then hey there, hello, can you hear me?
What?
God, it's like a family member trying to learn how to use Skype.
I'm in the middle of a thing right now. What's up?
Why are you screaming?
Because there's a very loud wind. It's amazing. You should see it sometime. Although that might be the tempest. So, yeah, no, what's going on?
Wait, what name was said at the beginning of this?
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying Heather, and I'm like, did
No,
I
no,
just
hello.
literally get hit with the wrong number?
No, hello is what was said.
Okay, I just had to check to make sure that you were alright because I couldn't call you last time.
Yeah, we were in the middle of something. That and you were doing it in an area that was apparently not allowing me to get reception with you.
We?
Your mother wanted to say hi. Hi, sweetie. She says hi.
It does work! I knew three-way call worked!
It really doesn't, because you hear in the background. Whoop! Hi, we gotta go. Love you. Take care of yourself. Don't get eaten. Bye. Click. Arcus eyes refocus.
She had questions she wanted to ask that she did not get that chance.
Oh no, the question was to make sure that she could still call her, essentially.
No.
So
Well, I
yeah,
guess
she
I
got
got
the
it.
answer. It's just that also, what the hell's going on in the background?
So
Yeah.
Navarre is looking down at Arcus.
Blink, blink.
I got an answer, but God, I have so many more questions now.
That's Auntie for you.
Oh, I hope she doesn't toss bomb off a cliff again.
That was. Wait, how many times was that? Okay, so she might not be in total trouble, but I mean,
She
apparently-
wanted to see if the wind was strong enough to carry her. Oh God!
yeah.
I'm heading downstairs. I might need a drink.
Nah, yeah, I'm not stopping you. He turns into a dog.
I
and follows
imagine
you.
like at first Arcus is like grabbing the shirt, and then then he thinks we're on, and it's like, on second thought, he'll pick up Arcus and start carrying him. Why? I mean, I love my family, but why?
as you're walking down the stairs, like, the bar's right there. You can almost smell it. And then you see the red cape of the guard set up.
There it is.
Did I see this happening?
Yes, I'm sure you all
Parents,
did.
I've been
you
told
son
of
of a
what
gun.
Can I roll
Oh, no.
insight to
You're
put
not
2 and 2
there.
together? I said I was at the bar. I said immediately
Wait,
after I said that I ran to the bar.
Are these the Marquise guards?
Yes.
They're the wizard. Oh, I thought they were the wizard guards.
No, this is the Marquise guard. He is wearing
Oh,
the
okay.
armor
That's
and the
why I
cape.
wasn't freaking out because I remember the red cloak and I'm like, oh.
Yes. That's
Dude,
what-
I thought I would be there technically because I said as soon as I was done
You're-
giving her the thing, I ran back to the.
Oh, if you ran back to the tavern, then yeah, you can be sitting at the bar.
I had already been there because I didn't follow Kalir. I just went back to
So-
the bar.
Same.
So I'm guessing Bo saw them come in when she just repeatedly taps the Deem very quickly.
You didn't see
Okay,
them come
okay.
in. You see them walk up to the bar, look around, and then just take a seat. Just like kind of outside the bar, just kind of looking around. And when they saw Naivara coming down the stairs, you saw them just very casually just stand up and wait. And then as Naivara was like getting ready around the corner, they just kind of stepped up and were like greeting
Can I
her.
look at their mouth?
Hi.
Can I get a good look at their mouth, Guru?
No, you cannot.
Okay.
This person is wearing, like I said, full armor. Think of like Goblin
Not-
Slayer looking armor. That's the sort
Oh
of
my
armor they're
gosh.
wearing with the
Can I
red
see his
cloak.
face at all?
No, you cannot. Well, you can kind of see like faintly the eyes, but the rest
Is
of
the
it
voice familiar?
the voice is familiar. It's the same one who initially retrieved you, as it were.
Oh, shoulder hand out. I never got your name.
Can I try to get within earshot?
Butters wants that info.
Bo is he doesn't like it, but he's nosy.
I can't help that I'm curious.
He's honest.
Roll a stealth check.
Dun dun. Dun 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 dun.
Considering that he is coming from behind the guard, do I just see him trying to
God.
sneak?
Yes. When I say stealth check, I'm not saying it's for you. It's for the guard.
I just imagine Navarre just sees him doing like some tiptoe stealth and it's just like,
He's just walking up like very quietly because he's a halfling, and he just kind of waves as you see him.
her eyebrows raised, just like, okay, that's a thing.
Roll the stealth check with disadvantage.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, Navarre just kind of outing you slightly just by suddenly looking. Not like overtly, but enough that it
I mean, to
catches
be
the guy's
fair,
attention.
actually, wait, before he does that,
Yeah.
can I roll deception considering that he just shook my hand anyway, so I could pretend that it's too strong?
Roll deception.
Oh man.
Oh my! Oh, easy, guy. My hands are fragile.
I'm sure they are. My name is Prowl. Please, Marquise wishes to speak to you.
All the names.
Please tell me it smells.
It's-
Oh dang it.
Sorry. Prowl.
There's an apostrophe. Oh, there's supposed to be an apostrophe in there somewhere.
No apostrophe in this one. Just Prowl.
P-Row.
P-Rail? No!
Hey, yo, what's up, girl named P-Row?
I met a guy named Lamar. This big black dude with a fucking silver grill.
I will, as he says that, I'll walk up and tap him in the back of the knee with the...
Claw.
Well,
Looks like
I'm
glances
guessing this
down.
dude's tall, so
He's
I'm
tall.
about knee height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He glances down at you. May I help you?
Hi. Where are you taking her?
The Marquise wished to speak with her about the contract for missions undertaken under his directive.
If Zadim hears that, he'll stand up and he'll walk over as well.
Oh, well, we're also part of the group, so if it's about a contract, then I assume that we should all be going.
He kind of like lifts his, like, kind of like straightens and glances back at Naivara. Were you wishing to do this as a group or individually? Individually has more anonymity, but if you're willing to all sign your names on it, we see no issue with this.
I don't mind bringing them along as a group, but if you're also here for the other thing that I requested the Marquise, I would prefer if I talk to him alone about that.
For which one? I can confirm that kind of like glances to the rest of the group, looks back to her. The first one that you mentioned did come through here at one point. Whether or not he left is indeterminate. The other one we have not heard of or seen so far as we were able to find.
What is 1 point? Do you have a timestamp?
At most 3 months ago. We're not sure if he was coming in or leaving at the time.
I'll have to do a little bit more investigation after this is over.
Of
All right.
course.
Oh,
Are you
what's
talking
happening?
about that your brother you mentioned earlier?
You weren't there for that.
Yeah, you weren't
No,
there for that.
I was there for the other time you mentioned your brother last session. It was a different brother. You brought up a monk brother. To Bo, specifically.
Oh, that's right. No, not
the
that
DM
one.
is standing right there. He'll just like quietly raise his eyebrows, but not say anything. Tuck that little nugget of information away.
Wait, brother, nugget away.
Nugget.
Wait, what's happening?
Naibara has at least one brother that Zadim now knows about because he's very obviously not eavesdropping because he's technically in on the conversation.
You're also
but-
6'8".
yeah, it's hard to not be obvious, but it's not like anybody was trying to hide that.
Hit
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Not that one.
Now he knows there's at least one more.
Yep. Thankfully, that's all he knows.
And that's all he needs to know right now. It doesn't really concern him. He's just curious.
Obviously.
Well, then maybe he should ask, as he said to me.
Come along now. He kind of like notices Virdrick just kind of like move up behind everyone, just like slowly squinting at them, and just like, another one of yours?
Yes, but I'm not quite sure how he's feeling about this Marquise business, so I'm not entirely sure if he wants to go.
Again, if you wish to have your name signed on after the fact, there's no shame in that. We will be having her mark down the number of people in her party. I will explain it to her so that she can explain it to you at a further point. Please, by all means, we should.
I think our main concern here is if we take on this job, we'll be forced to take missions.
Please come with me. He kind of motions. He's like, the Marquise is better at explaining this than I am.
Alright.
I do understand many of the ins and outs, and watch your step, because he kind of starts walking down the stairs as he talks to you.
Is he the man to, like, help the chick down the steps, or is he just expecting you to fall?
He watches to see how you take the steps. To see if
Uh,
you're the
Bo
person,
off-
because he is. It's apparent from like he takes like a few steps down and stops on like the third step and glances back at you to see if you're the woman who like will be expecting someone to help her down, or if you're just going to plow right on through. Clearly, he's had experience with many different types.
If he hesitates enough, Bo just walks up and offers a hand.
It depends, Naivara. How do you approach the stairs?
Navarro will take Bo's hand.
Yep. So
Well, claw.
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 Hand.
Tell him otherwise.
Yep, and Prawl is perfectly fine with that. Is seeing that you've got the hand that you want, begins walking down the stairs to lead you to the Marquise. Also, Kalir, are you coming with them, or are you at the bar?
Well, she was gonna buy metal, but I don't know.
You can be buying metal while they're doing this if you'd like. That's completely
Yeah.
fine.
Oh my god.
I don't know whether the guards would have just like been looking for me or something.
Not really. You didn't
Okay.
present yourself as being someone who's interested, so they wouldn't be
Don,
making their way to. Yeah.
do you want me to show you something stupid as shitpost?
I'm always game for stupid things. Go ahead and put that in shitpost.
Paste, you dick!
While that's going on,
There you go.
beautiful.
Oh, look what mic did I break?
You know, it just took me a moment to actually see it. And let me just grab this real quick while you guys are heading down the stairs. Just Just so we can get that knocked out of the way. Was there a specific amount of metal you were looking to get?
I
NPR.
realized that Navarre probably does this to
Um,
test a man's courteous nature.
Oh, let me think. How much can make a weapon?
Depends
I
on
think
the
you
weapon
need
you're
at least
looking to
like
make.
5 pounds of it.
Um,
That doesn't sound inaccurate. There's like
I suppose
that.
I suppose it would go by the weight of the weapon then. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I would think that you would need like double the weight in metal.
Yes, I'd say double it because obviously as you're forging it, you can lose some of the metal when you're breaking off pieces. And plus, if you have leftovers, it's good to have leftovers to use in case you want to make something smaller later.
Hmm. Um, I'll get 20 pounds of metal
20
to
pounds
start
of
off
metal.
with.
Uh,
Yeah. Just to start off with.
Yep, 6 gold pieces.
Okay.
So just mark that down. Well, basically you're just doing this while they're doing their thing with
Yeah.
Prawl.
And then I'll probably because I don't imagine it takes that long, so it should probably appear.
I'm going to
at
go
the
ahead and say
bar
that
and
you're at the bar. You're not going to be
and then I'll
with
be
them.
looking around oh, they disappeared.
Querstative. Also, it's like the idea is that you don't know, but they're like that little fucker lied. They weren't here.
Oh no.
She should just have a drink at the bar, and she's just oh well, I'll find someone else. It's fine.
So you guys are led to the marquise, and actually you would have Virdrick there. Virdrick stayed behind because if you guys are going to be signing your names on a dotted line, I can be here waiting.
I thought this was us going to the Marquise and saying we might not do it.
Yep, it might be. And Virdrick's like, look, whatever you choose, I'll be here. So you'll be with Virdrick, which is perfectly fine. In the meantime, you guys are approaching the Marquise to figure out whether or not you are saying yes or no to this. Approaching into the area where he currently is, he's clearly got some kind of wanderlust around this place because he's in a completely new area. Just kind of walking around, seeming to just check things out, giving little nods here and there. And when he sees his guard, the guard gives a little salute, and he seems to kind of brighten up slightly, and then look past him at the rest of you, just Nivara, you brought friends.
Well, I had to bring my party, didn't I?
No, you didn't have to. If you are the one representing your party, I should presume that you are willing to speak for yourself, and presumably your party will either follow after you or not, depending upon how you wish to go about things. But that's not my business to determine how your friends and compatriots work. Please come. He motions towards a table off to the side. It looks to be part of a.
Motherfuckers always the fucking smoke.
Appears to be next to a food establishment. One with a little outdoor area where you can sit down, enjoy a snack or two if you wanted.
Oh god, food. Oh Jesus, I didn't eat breakfast.
No, you did not. You almost threw up from drinking the hangover cure.
I need food.
By all means, I'll be seating myself, and you can get what you need and come back. I don't mind. And if your friends would like to sit, I can most certainly chat with them. He moves over, just not expecting, but just kind of well, I'll meet you there. And he goes over and he takes a seat, just kind of leans on his arms, fingers intertwined underneath his chin as he taps his foot very slowly, just kind of watching you guys. Do you seat yourselves?
I do.
Yeah, I will.
Okay. Also, Paris, if you're looking to get some food, they have a full meal if you want, or if you're just looking for a snack, it'll be 2 different prices.
Something small.
Something small? they'll give you it's like a cheesy wrap with.
You have an obsession with wraps.
I do like wraps. I like having it contained in like a burrito. Okay. It's a cheesy wrap with bits of shredded chicken in it, for 1 silver.
A sandwich.
That sounds good.
Sandwich.
I ate like my friend treated me to the fucking diner, but
Sandwich.
I feel it. But yes, you have just mark off 1 silver and get yourself some of that grubbin.
I will try to eat this as delicately and as properly as possible.
Of course.
And
And
the only one who probably knows his pains are currently in the residence at the moment is Zadim. Because he is secret. Without a limit.
as one would be.
Because he's what?
He's seen Naivara eat without having to be proper, and she eats like she's a child of a family with more than one kid.
Alright. You sit down. He doesn't seem to notice or mind the way you're eating. Just kind of seems to take it in stride. After a moment, he just kind of looks at you all, just with just that faint smile on his face. So,
Everything just went wrong.
did you
What
did you
happened?
have everything crash on you?
No, like so. The reason I said BRB is because my grandmother needed me to help her get a box, but that box was in between some other boxes. So I grabbed it, and everything started falling. Then I just had to use all my body parts necessary to try to catch the boxes. Everything went wrong.
I can hear.
What did I miss?
You are seated across from the marquise, if you wish to. If you don't wish to be, then you can be standing.
Oh, I'm fine with that. Bo's not like Raph. Bo will sit and are we like a restaurant or something?
Yes,
Or
it
in
is an
a-
outdoor
I
restaurant.
will.
Yeah.
I will order anything fish.
They have
Of course
a. They
Tom,
have a
what's
wrap
Fish
that
and more
has.
seafood.
They do have a wrap that is a. When I say wrap, I mean it's. Essentially, they take the dough, like of a kind of a pizza dough, put the ingredients in the middle of it, roll it up, toss it over an open fire, and cook it for like
So it's a grilled
2
wrap.
minutes. Yes, it's a grilled wrap.
It's-
Except for
it's
the
like-
except for the fish. The fish they serve as sushi.
Oh, I was saying it was a weird piezone.
It is a weird. Yeah, it is. That is exactly
Oh
what it is.
god, you know what I want right now.
So yeah, he'll order that. You guys notice Bo necessarily doesn't devour the food. He's just not a clean eater.
Versus Naivara, who's trying her best to be clean.
Yeah,
as she
no,
can be.
he'll definitely have some food on either corner of his mouth.
And the Marquise doesn't seem to mind.
Bo?
Yes.
Oh, still dear. I'll take a handkerchief, just like quickly dab at the corners of his mouth.
That's probably not
Okay.
going to help much.
He will take a knife and fork and try to eat it sophisticated like. But now imagine the hand that the knife is in as a claw.
You know, that's actually not that hard, because all you have to do is move your arm up and down. It was with the fork that I was going to start questioning things.
Right.
So, what is the necessary of a rubber duck? Sorry, I need to get a Harry Potter reference in there somewhere.
You're
Okay,
fine.
so, Lo, are you like the runner of this place or something?
Yes, I was put in charge of it in order to ensure its thriving, continued success as a part of Tamdov.
Oh, cool. Have you seen a lady? She has bright red hair. She's a smaller Triton, around 4 foot, upper 4 feet, lower 4 feet, I forget. Wearing kind of like some sea-wearing type clothing.
Kind of
Oh, and she has.
but-
And I'll just start describing her a little bit more.
He just kind of stares at you for a moment, kind of slowly glances to Navarra. It appears all of your party appear to be looking for something. Kind of glances
Well,
to
no,
Zadim,
I
just
saw
like
her the other day
like,
here.
just raising brow, and then he glances back to you. You saw her
She-
the other day. I
Yeah,
suppose
she
I
was
could-
at the fight.
I personally don't believe I saw anyone of that particular persuasion.
Oh, she was wearing a
myself.
cloak.
If she was wearing a cloak, she may not have wished to be seen, so it's quite possible that with the way things were situated, that she was completely missed, especially in a brawl such as that. Most people wouldn't even recognize their neighbor if they were walking through there, unless they were betting, as they were wont to do. He just seems like tired. Just, oh my gosh, I've seen too much of this. But he shakes his head after a moment. I highly doubt if she was wearing a cloak that someone would affirmatively have seen her, but I can certainly put out feelers if that is something you wish.
No. If she didn't make her presence known, she doesn't want to be seen. So.
Gives
It's
like
alright.
a slow nod, just understandable. And fret not, I will do that which is within my abilities and my expertise to keep my eyes out at the very least. That being said, kind of just steeples his fingers a lot more pointedly, small smile growing on his face. You were here in regards to my offer, correct?
We have a few questions about that.
Ask away.
Exactly how does this work? Are we just permanently under your employ in that you could just command us to do something we would have to, or
No. Hold on. Prawl. He motions and Prawl pulls out some papers and hands it to him. He's like, thank you. He sets it down and slides it over. Please, read through the contract. By all means, I'm not going to stop you from taking your time with this. What is your investigation modifier?
6?
I
So
don't
you're-
sign anything without my lawyer present.
Okay. Does anyone have a higher investigation modifier? Because that means your passive's a 16.
By the way, Guru, that was not out of character.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, just so you know, that wasn't a haha funny Butters joke. No,
No.
that is legitimately what Bo says.
Prawl kind of glances to you and just like,
I 100% do not have a higher one.
no worries. He glances to Bo and then glances back to the Marquise. Marquise is just like, we'll see if your friend here has the lawyer's eye, as it were. Which,
No pressure.
are you, like, I'm guessing you're just like passively reading through it first, right?
She's skimming to see if anything seems off, and then she'll go more in depth.
Okay. Reading through it, and I'm using your passive investigation because people don't tend to use that very often, and I want to try and use it, dang it. And especially for
Wait,
something like
Guru.
this. What?
Guru.
What?
I have a passive of 15.
That, okay. You would also be able to look over her shoulder and see the same
You have a
stuff.
passive of 15.
Observant feat, motherfucker.
Gosh.
Plus 5 to passive investigation.
So yeah, if you were to
Jeez.
be looking over her shoulder as she's reading this, you'd be able to see much the same thing she is, surprisingly enough. That moment when you realize, yes, the observant feat does work for this. You are being a very observant to the, dotted line information. That, I'm so glad that I asked this question because I'm so happy. Moving on to actually give you 2, because you two have a 15 or above for this. The contract is in depth. It's not like a bare bones, go do this, you get paid. It's going over various things, essentially giving options, workarounds, and loopholes. It's on the surface, it seems like it's like, okay, if someone's putting this much effort into making a contract, there's probably something fishy in it. But the more you read through it, the more it seems to be giving you options rather than trying to bind you to something. An example of that being is that there's this is a 5-page contract, by the way. On the 3rd page, there is an article regarding war. If Tamdov is to come under siege or fall into any war, it is requested that you and your party continue your quest and take care of what is being done in Tamdov. Your service to Tamdov will be rewarded in the amount of gold that you are initially allotted, with potentials for an additional gold sum for completing something within Tamdov, which will allow us to continue our efforts on the front and not allocate resources behind our own lines. Additionally, if you are wishing to join with the war effort in Tamdov, you can report to the Marquis and fall under his banner guard, in which case you will be essentially fighting in the lines with the border patrol and will report directly to the Marquis as you are still under the mercenary contract, not under any authority to the king. If the king gives you an order to fight in die trying, you are under no obligation to do so and are allowed to flee as you please.
This is honestly something protective if some king here tries to pull some fucking bullshit.
That's what it seems to read like. It reads like the Marquis has made this so that while you're going through Tamdov, the king cannot affect your anonymity while assisting the country. It does state that once your contract is done, that by reporting back to the Marquis, you will end the contract and no longer be under this anonymity. That you'll be treated as a regular person who can be drafted into the army if you are, amongst the citizens of Tamdov village, if a draft should occur. Essentially, this gives you a waiver to basically say, yeah, war's coming? No, I'm in the middle of a mission. I'm doing stuff to help you guys out without you guys having to allocate me anywhere.
I mean, not only draft. This is.
You see, as Bo's reading this, he's just like not knowingly just going, just like shaking his head, like no, just like not even noticing it. Just.
There's also a section that basically goes over a few things regarding village entrance, where it mentions that there's a few villages and townships that will request you to remove your weapons. This contract, if you show it to the guards or to anyone who questions you in regards to this, will allow you to keep your weapons without having them removed on site, as you are acting under the guise of mercenaries who are intending to rid them or the residents of Tamdov from any particular threat that is aforementioned in the contract.
I'll point to that part. And he goes, Bo just goes.
Say again.
But what?
He points to that part, and Bo looks at the guy and goes, "I don't use a weapon."
Are you relaying all this to Zadim?
He's just looking.
Because really, the lad's just sitting there like.
Open saying this, and under his breath, he just keeps criticizing it.
Okay.
So I'm
Here's
assuming
the
I
thing.
hear every criticism.
Yes, Bo is not liking this whatsoever.
Zadim has 3 questions: 2 for the Marquis, and 1 for Naivara, specifically because she's the only one who knows about the mission that we're on.
Also, one other point before you ask your questions. At the very end, there is a section of the contract that does state that the aforementioned promise that for the mission involved, they will be acting as a party member or party leader, and will honestly write down the number of members of the party with which they are traveling through Tamdov. That way, if any are to fall in battle, we can properly contribute to anything necessary for their needs, as well as to ensure that if anyone's added afterwards, that as they are not part of the contract, that they will not be added to after the fact. Basically saying, if you add party members afterwards or have people who help you, you're not obligated to pay them. That'll be coming out of your pocket.
Okay.
Okay. Still 3 questions.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head which towns or cities would require you to hand over your weaponry?
It depends on how deep into Tamdov you're willing to go. I know of a few places that are more strict on the ruling. Ivory Hills is one of the big ones, as it is very close to the Death Garden, or is it the Black Garden? They always seem to be changed. Yeah, that's what I figured it was called. I've heard it named the Black Garden by a few other people who want it to be less morbid than it actually is, but it is what it is, and we have to live with that. That being said, because of its
place, apparently.
It actually quite is. It's a lovely place. I wouldn't build a summer home there myself, but it's it's grown well over the years. In a nature sense is of course what I mean. Like it looks like a that probably came out wrong kind of laugh. But he motions to Zadim. Is there any place in particular you're looking to wish to avoid in regards to that?
No. I just like to know where I can and cannot go, and still retain the manner I use to defend myself.
Of course, of course. The capital is another one. The inner sanctum of the king's chambers tends to be more rigid in that regard and may actually usurp the authority of the contract to supersede it with their authority, which is actually he kind of taps a excuse me a portion of the second page and is like which you after reviewing again quickly see that it basically says only a member of the King's Crown Guard, which are it makes sure to specify with a little annotation basically saying they are robed in armor that has golden plating on the shoulders in the symbol of Halo on the pauldrons, which actually shows a drawing of it on the side so that you're aware of what they actually are. That they are the only ones who can supersede certain parts of the contract. And that means that you are in the capital answering to them to show that you are coming peacefully. And that's again giving you the basic gist, not going through lawyer speak.
I appreciate that. Zadim also appreciates that.
He still says, "Yeah, I don't use a weapon." Like he looks directly at the guy's face when he says it.
If you do not use a weapon, that is completely understandable. There are people of the mountains who also do not require the use of weapons when it comes to things of danger, but having a visible weapon for some people is enough to set them on edge, and to be fair, is more of a peace of mind sort of thing. If you have no weapons on you, they think that you're not dangerous. As foolish and silly as that may be, I've seen creatures that can do terrible things with no weapons at all. Why should people be any different, eh?
My second question.
Yes.
Why is it that you require a mercenary force in your own country in the first place, especially not one that seems to be on a permanent basis?
Well, that is the thing. He kind of leans back with kind of just a very small, slowly growing smile, and he makes a motion to Prawl. As you can see, this is Prawl. Prawl, would you actually... You do not have to remove the whole thing if you are still uncomfortable, but if you lift your faceplate for them. Prawl just kind of like looks like, kind of shifts over, like you can't see any expression, but you get a kind of sense from body posture that's like a, are you sure? He slowly moves the hand up, he grabs the faceplate, not the whole thing, and just kind of slides it up and shoves it back just slightly so you can get a better look. And you can actually see a very deep red with slanted eyes of a face, ears giving a slight point but not elven, just human with a slight point to it, long black hair that frames the face, and slightly sharper teeth for like incisors and whatnot, with slightly elongated canines, of a race you guys are not incredibly familiar with.
Guru.
Yes.
Guru.
Yes.
I knew two of them, remember?
I remember, I was about to say, Bo, you, on the other hand, are very much aware that this man is a hobgoblin.
Goblin.
Can I roll to see if I've seen anything like that?
Yeah, same.
Nature check with disadvantage, both of you.
Okay.
You know where Bo grew
I
up.
remember.
This is definitely one of the people that would be there.
I'm aware.
He goes, yeah, he goes,
Nope.
Nope. And as soon as he gives you like a 10-second look, he pulls it down quickly, just cling, like locking it back and kind of shifts back into place. He makes a motion, he's like, "No worries, Prawl. It's you've done well." Prawl is actually he is a citizen of Tamdov, but he is not directly in Tamdov's military force. Not actually. He works directly under myself, and actually worked as a part of a mercenary band himself by giving people from outside of our country the option of roaming as mercenaries. They're able to accrue a reputation or a distinction by having the contract with someone of a high position, such as myself. The
I'm
king.
also from this country.
Then you would know some of these, or at the very least, you might if you're from one of the larger cities. Where exactly abouts are you from?
Oh, I'm from Bastards Park.
Oh goodness, that's not too far away from here at all. Granted, it's been an age since I've been up that way. I should go say hi at some point. See if they still have that little place on the dock that you can skip stones. That was good times. Forgive me, lost in memories. I was answering a question. So for this, it does give you a certain status, as it were, by having a contract that is directly under such a lord as myself. Granted, I am a marquis, I am the defender of the border, but I am still a person with a formidable position of power in my own right, one in which the king, as part of the military provisions that he has as part of Tamdov's doctrine, can accrue my own private army to allow for the expansion and defense of the border, especially for the defense of the border, because we are right on the cusp of Halo with Cormundum, just a sneeze away from that. Having the ability to reach out to people, especially from people from all over the place, places beyond even Cormundum, places that many people here would have no ideas about. You have different outlooks, different perspectives, different ways of seeing the world, and we of Tamdov want to have you teach us. But obviously, we're not going to be covert and try and subjugate you. We want you to simply show us that you are able to do things that are worth our time and worth your own time. And therefore, we give back to you, as is proper, and show that if you are willing to work for or with us, that we are willing to supply you with what we are able to offer. If that is not what you wish to have and to maintain, by all means, you can leave as you wish. You are a mercenary band, and therefore you have no iron clasp on your ankle to keep you here. You can go flee, go southward, and go down to Grazar. Jimmy, not Grazar, Grasmere. Grasmere, you can go to Corvin, you can go back to Halo. Wherever you so wish to go, the wind at your sails, you may. Or you can work with us, you can stay here, and potentially be able to get to a standing wherein when people see you walking down the streets, they will know that you stand amongst the elite, the highest of the high, and are powerful enough to hold your own in a variety of different ways. And again, having it as people from outside just means that it doesn't matter who you are or where you come from. You can move up in the world. That helped to explain your question a little bit better.
It does, yes.
It's a different ideology, I'm aware. Places like Halo are a little more closed-minded, and don't even get me started about Gorleen. They're very tight-knit with their structure of military. Probably why they lost so harshly to Cormundum those years back. But that's not for me to judge, except in military tactics. I can judge them as much as I please. Forgive me, just a little joke there.
He nods, and then he turns to Ivar, and he asks,
Given what we've just heard, do you think we will be able to thoroughly complete our mission if we do not necessarily have access to our weapons in certain places in this country.
Thoroughly, especially if these bastards try to pull a fast one on us and attack.
Do you think Vietrik would agree with this?
I don't know what the hell he'll agree with. I can tell you right now that I'm signing it, so he's part of my party, so regardless, he still gets the benefits.
And that is actually another point of order that I think you'd like. He turns the pages slightly, and he goes back to the first page, which you're kind of like skimming through the first page. You actually missed that part right there. But on the first page, he actually taps the top of it where it mentions what your mission actually is. Which, just for the comedic joke, because this again, paraphrasing lawyer speech, is basically your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to investigate the rumors regarding a group of nobles who have been skirmishing across the borders.
Are you
As
kidding me?
hold on, as brought forth
Oh my
before me
God.
by, and he actually mentions Naivara, essentially saying that you have brought this to my attention, and the fact that you brought it to my attention, and that there's a note basically saying a few other people have correlated this, meaning that you are not the only person who has noted this. And he's like, okay, hold on. If this is actually some shit that's going on, I want to know more about this. And so it basically is saying, I'm paying you from Tamdov as, you showing us that, you're actually doing this foreign with us as well to do what you're already doing.
Navar, can you do me a favor? Don't put me under, don't write my name under your group.
As I said, you do not need to
Our
write
group.
names. The only name that is necessary is your own, and if you have a second, someone who can write their own name, in case anything should happen to yourself, 2 names should be sufficient. On the side, it will simply say the total number of your party, including yourself and your second, after which the other names are unnecessary, as it were.
Yeah, just don't even put me as like a number. This will sound weird. I want as far away, I don't want anything to do with this like legally or anything. I'm just not interested in it. And it looks to the Marquise. If you ever need any help with anything, by all means, just ask. I'm always willing to help somebody in need. I don't want to touch the legal part of it.
Can I
I
ask
don't wanna
why,
be a
By
part
the
of legal part
way,
of it.
by the way, Color's wandered off.
Oh no. We'll get
Hey,
to that.
Navarre just puts her head in her hands when she notices.
No, okay.
No, Color's not.
You're not
Yeah.
there.
She's
You wandered
Yeah.
off. We'll get to clear in a bit.
Yeah.
Wait, is it I don't notice she's gone?
You're not.
Color's
She's
never
not
went there.
there.
Color's back at the
Oh,
bar.
I
He's
thought
throwing
he
in
was
something.
there.
He's throwing in something from a place that you wouldn't have any idea about anyway. So no
Yeah,
worries.
Yeah, she's all the way back
I
at the.
heard his comments every now and again. I thought he had followed.
No,
Oh, no.
he's still back at the bar.
Okay.
Well, yeah. So you just go. I don't want any part of this legally. Of course, I'm part of your group and I'm happy to be it, but not if don't want to touch it legally.
That
Can I
is
ask
fair
why,
enough.
love?
We can talk about it later, maybe.
Alright. Do you feel like being the second name is a demon? Because if I try and wrench it off your trick, I'll lose my hand.
Yes, you will. And no, I do not. Mind, that is.
Yeah, exactly. She opened her mouth She'll slide her name, put the group except for Bo, and slide it over to Zadim.
He'll sign it.
Yeah, because I don't need any of the benefits really either, so it's all good.
True.
But yeah, he'll kind of just stand up and he'll throw his hands very nice to formally meet you.
Takes your hand and shakes it. And you as well.
I'm sorry, I don't want any part of your contract here, but
You're
yeah, if
fine.
you ever need someone that can call down the storms or do a bit of healing,
Ah,
you can
you're one of
always.
those folk. Interesting.
Oh, I thought you saw us at the
No,
fight
no.
thing.
I thought that you I thought you were a wizard at the time.
Oh
I
no, 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 no.
I
In
hadn't.
fact, he pulls out one of his shells. I also want to give this to you.
He takes it,
Uh,
kind of turns it
I
over his
wanted to
hand.
talk about in the future is never a bad idea. Maybe getting a temple or some kind, or just like a small, small place of worship in as many towns as I can.
It would take some work. It likely would have to wait until we finish bridging between this mountain and one of the other mountains in our range. We're actually looking to expand to make this tavern a entire mountain range that is one big tavern, which is
Ah,
an endeavor to say itself. But having one with another temple or
her,
two, it never would hurt, even if it's just a shrine.
her name is Silek. She's a very nice lady. That's all. That's a decent bit of information on her right there. I suggest possibly reading about her. I don't know if you're a man of faith, but I'm sure after you read about her, you might be considered to be one.
I can certainly take a look at it. Thank you.
Hmm.
And he puts it in a shirt pocket where it'll be like right up against his breast. He motions to the rest of you. Any other questions I can assist you with in the meantime?
If we're all done with this, do you have another bottle of that drow fucking wine?
Not
I'm
that I
gonna
can
need it.
freely give away.
I
Oh,
don't mind paying.
one more question.
Yes?
Why a bar this big? I just don't see a point of it.
Think of it like this. When you want to go somewhere to, uh, I believe the phrase is still called pub crawling, to go from place to place and see different venues and such like that. Obviously, you may be getting more in over your heads with each of them and getting more into trouble and things of that nature. But at the same time, you might be wishing to buy things or do other things and have to go out so very far. Making this entire city one big tavern means that we have a place that is constructed out of stone, that is very much soundproof, so fighting and such from one area won't be able to permeate to the inns where you're able to get rest and relax, or to the shopping district, which is able to give you and provide you with rations and other such utility items that you need, or even our Arcana district, which is filled to the brim with people who are, well, not to the brim, obviously. We still need to have more people of a similar nature, similar mind to fill it out fully. But that being said, we are growing and we are expanding it. And we're also looking to expand other different districts, including the mining and the productions of various other items as well, including a few druidic areas to make the top of the mountains have more forestry and life to them. So that way, when people make homes on the sides of the mountains as part of the expansions to it, to have areas where if they wish to watch a sunrise or to hear the rain, there are rooms with which to have it there as well. It is an attraction. It is a place where if people hear about it, they won't believe it until they see it. A place where they can spend their money, spend their time, and know that regardless of where they are, whether they're spending it at one pub downstairs or the next, that they will find themselves having a good time. And if they wish to just go watch some people beating the hell out of each other, as some people wish to do, or to jump in the pits and fight themselves, we have a freedom for you to do any and all of these things.
This man has made a fight resort.
Bo like shakes his head, kind of like not like disapprovingly, just like. Ugh. I understand. I paid attention like half that. Sorry, my mind started drifting when you started bringing certain things up. Like I said, very nice to meet you. Anybody else got anything to say before we head out?
I want to buy a bit of that wine.
I don't think you would be able to afford some of it, but I mean, if you have 100 gold at least to drop.
Ugh.
Yes, they are Very expensive bottles.
That
Stand up and rub her face. I'll meet you two back at the bar, alright?
Can I insight check her?
Yeah, go for it.
Just seeing, based off the statement, if I can get any intentions. Not high.
She looks stressed.
You alright?
I'll be fine.
You alright?
I'll be fine. Don't worry. Just,
You alright?
you're gonna keep asking until I say it, ain't
He smiles.
you?
Cheeky.
Just, he's here, and I don't know if he's here still, and I gotta start searching for him, but I have a time limit because Beatrice wants to go, and it's so...
A person?
Mm-hmm.
If you're referring to your brother that you mentioned to me, the kind of like pauses looking to the other two.
At this
You're
point,
looking-
I don't...
The tiefling. He's not here.
Oh, by the way, yeah, Zadim, this is the first time that you've heard that she is a tiefling for a brother. I will give you that.
Filing it away.
Do you know this specific item that the person has on him?
I believe that she said
Great sword with elven runes.
Yes, that.
If you describe it well enough, if we're within a mile of that item, I'd know if you give me some time, I'd be able to know where it is if we're within a mile.
Certainly
Well,
something
that'd
to
be-
keep in mind.
That'd be tomorrow. Well, no, not a mile. Sorry, 1,000 feet of me. A lot
So
less.
close.
Close enough. Regardless, I can inform you now that for speeding you up a little bit, the last bit of information I'd received regarding him was that he had left the city to head into Temdov. Something about the cold of winter or something like that, and some kind of test. Not sure exactly what was meant by it, but it was the information that was
What I
presented to
gather
me.
just from, like, knowing the brother and what is happening, what that is.
Make an intelligence check.
Nope.
The fuck's he doing now?
That's good. I'm gonna stew over that.
I did not mean to make it more stressful. I apologize for that.
It's your fault. The stupid one.
If I get strong enough, I could possibly just figure out where he is.
It's certainly an option that is
These are the
available.
guards that were around me last night, right?
It's well, Prawl was with you last night, so yes, he is here.
Are there any more people that are nearby?
Closest people to you are like 2 tables over. They seem to notice that the Marquise was there and kind of just like shifted
Are they
away.
within earshot?
Again, they shifted away so as to be more respectful that he was speaking with someone, apparently.
Wait, actually, do I hear any noise outside of the people within like a 10-foot radius?
The sound of the crowds walking around.
Okay, so
people.
he didn't cast silence. Got it.
He did not cast silence
But I-
last time. He cast something else, but you have no idea what that is.
Mm.
That is a personal thing that I've worked on, but for later, I'm sure.
And Bo just goes, it's gonna be a while before I'm able to do it, but if we get strong enough, I'll just be able to ask some questions and they have a possibility of getting answered, you know?
I'm gonna literally.
You are
Say
cutting
again?
out a lot.
She said if I get strong enough, I could literally fucking teleport to him.
I
That is
think I'd
powerful
get
enough indeed.
I think I'd get mine faster than you'd get that one.
Probably.
Yeah.
Speaking of Marquise, I have one final question for you, and this one is just personal. What's that thing that you did before in the bar that made it so our conversation was fully private?
It's not really got really a full name to it. He reaches into a different pocket than the one that the shell's in. He's got a few pockets on his jacket. They just reaches into one and pulls out a couple of gold coins, but these coins are a little bit odd in that they all have a hole punched through the center of them. Sets one down and kind of slides it over just into the middle of the table and taps it. And you hear him mutter a few words rather quickly, and you don't see anything. You don't feel anything. But the noise from the background dies down to nothing. It's a little thing that a friend of mine thought up. He picks it up and kind of just rubs the coin between his fingers. He calls it the room spell. It's not actually creating a room, but it creates more of an area wherein people can have a private room, as it were, of conversation that affects the person and a number of people, generally at most 3 or 4. Kind of glances to Bo and to Zadim, and he motions to Prawl, and Prawl just like watching him motioning and whatnot. He kind of like, you see him like slowly shake his head. Apparently he was not included in this.
Wait, what?
You are part of my room. I've made it so that you can hear what I'm saying, but the people around you cannot hear what we are saying, yourself or myself.
And who's cut out of it?
Prawl. Prawl is just kind of standing off to the side, and Prawl is just like, oh my gosh, he's doing this thing again.
I just love the idea of a guard that's been around forever with this spell, like, oh damn it, he's doing this thing, and I hate it when he does this.
Wait, so he can't hear us?
Not at the moment.
Why does he have to wear the full armor?
No. He doesn't have to. It's a choice that he has made. You see, most people getting closer to the border as hobgoblins are more, let me put it this way, they're more free as they're getting more ability to flee to different areas like Halo, Cormundum, in more of the colder areas as well as to the more western areas of Tamdov. There's, especially around the capital, where the old war bands still occasionally pop up, hobgoblins have a reputation, as it were. They, how to put this gently, they're a tribesman mentality of war and conquest, and while they're by technicality members of Tamdov because the areas that they are in are conquered, they still roam around and are able to have anonymity of their own accord, wherein they occasionally will build up raiding parties to attempt to attack, and
So just politics.
essentially politics. But for him, it's a matter
Alright.
of those politics, much as the way you do not like politics. He was not initially interested in them himself, and I was able to eventually work with him and allow him to have a less political and more personal connection with myself, and from that he chose to join me himself. A few members of his party have joined as well. They're doing various other things, but he personally has acted in accordance with myself, wherein he is, as you can see, acting as my bodyguard, and he is more so to protect me from the physical maladies that may arise rather than political. I can do the political do-si-do with the best of them.
Marquise,
Yes.
can I say something with the best of intentions and with the absolute just non-filtering of a country girl?
I'm listening.
You talk too much, darling.
Forgive me. I'm used to having many nobles seated around me where if I talk flowery enough it'll make sense. Short to the point of it then.
He notices it probably. Bo just opens his eyes and does a subtle nod, just like while looking at Navarro. And he goes, "Well, last thing I'll say is, if you ever, I imagine somebody or you yourself can cast something. I don't know. You ever need to, you can just message me, and you'll get a message back at least within the next day, probably.
I can certainly keep my eyes out should I require anything of you specifically, but I have met you and I know you, and if any sending is required, I'll make certain that it is taken care of.
All right. And have a good day. I am scared one of our party members thinks we left her.
I would
If you
get
get more-
back to them.
If you get more information on either, do you think you could send me a message?
I'll see what I can do. Not a
Or if
worry.
you could just intercept them or send them my way, either way works.
I'm fine with being a middleman.
I'll see what I can do. Gives a little nod and he holds up his other hand, snaps his fingers, and sound comes back, and you'll hear talking people and whatnot. And
I got Nivara with my right hand, Zadim with my claw, and just start pulling. We're going. Let's go.
Okay. Calm down.
All right.
meanwhile, with Wandering Vagabond.
Vagabond.
So, Kalir, where'd you go?
A random direction. She didn't stray too far from the bar. She's just a bit bored and just kind of walking around in a bit of a daze, just like.
How long has it been since we've been gone?
By this point, probably around half an hour.
Presumably a long time.
For Kalir, that's a long time.
I mean, I would have thought more towards given the amount of talking.
A lot of words in under 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, the more part of the talking and whatnot was actually more them walking down the stairs. Like, he was not super far away from the stairs to actually get to it.
Yeah, I don't know. I assume she would be just out of sight, maybe, of just out of sight of Vidric, I suppose. I imagine Vidric would say, "Don't wander too far away."
More than likely.
So she would try to, but obviously chaos reigns.
So as you guys are coming back, you might see her just kind of off to the side.
Do I?
You would
Do
with your
we?
passive.
Guru, I love making you say this every once in a while, man. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I understand.
I finally have a character with good wisdom. It's strange for me, man.
Wait, I'm sorry. Due to his passive, what?
His passive perception. His passive
No, he
perception
knows
is
his
decently
part.
high unless Kalir wants to attempt to roll a stealth check to counter it.
What is your passive again, Butters?
23.
Jesus Christ. I forgot about
Yeah.
that fucking
I
feat.
mean, she's not gonna bother countering.
Yes, so you notice her.
He's really good at seeing things, man. He just like waves as like he just walks up. All right, so everybody come together, and he's like, all right, so are we leaving today or tomorrow?
Kalia is still just kind of. She's just looking around. She's.
Nivara whistles as sharply as she can.
She's still not paying attention.
Motherfucker.
I turned to
Bo
Bright.
runs up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Bo. We're still holding on to you two, by the way.
Why?
I honestly forgot I was doing that. I apologize. Let's go. We need to have a conversation. Oh, hey, kids, I kind of want out of the city.
Okay.
That guy just gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit.
Why?
I don't know. He seems like he has too many things that he's not sharing with us, I feel. I don't
He
know.
has to be careful on who he shares it with. He doesn't know us.
That's not necessarily what I meant. I just don't
Kalia's
like...
still not paying attention. She's.
I'm sending
Ignore.
Arcus over to climb up her armor.
He's at your feet, by the way. Like, Bo is right next to you.
She
She's not.
She's staring distantly.
I will have Arcus just whap her in the face.
Should probably snap out of it. Huh?
He gives your cheek a smooch where he smacked you.
Oh,
Alright,
I'm over
let's,
here now.
let's go to Vierdrick.
Okay.
Darvara leans over to Zadim and just goes, I feel like a mother with a child. I feel very sorry for my own mother. I realized that I was like,
It is only one to experience. Well,
Alright, so,
our own parent.
Vierdrick, you want out now or later?
Where did you guys go?
Let's
deal with the
explain
Marquise.
this situation.
You kinda got signed into a contract in one shape or form.
He didn't
What?
get signed into a con.
In one shape or form, kinda did.
I got
the
signed.
Marquise gave us a contract to join him that essentially,
Oh,
with
no.
with no obligation on our part, lets us go into certain places with our weapons. So, in other words, the
I
reason that we
know.
did this is because if we catch the nobles and they attack us, we are allowed to physically draw our weapons without getting into trouble.
I don't want to be part of a contract.
Let's take it from the top. And I'll essentially explain the entire thing about how it's doing exactly what we've been doing, following the weird people who've been trying to put people in power who shouldn't be, and how in order to investigate certain places and use our weapons in those places, we would have needed authority from someone in power in Tamdov, aka like the Marquise, and that nobody is actually contractually obligated to do anything for the Marquise. He's literally asking us to keep doing what we've been doing, but check it out for his own sake, because it's going on in his country now.
She would still say, like, she doesn't like being tied to anywhere.
Well, after...
Darvara just fucks off at that. She's too tired.
Hey,
After we
wait,
complete
he
this
holds on
job-
to you. He grabs
Well, I
you.
will carry you.
We gotta have a conversation.
You signed me into something without my consent.
We didn't sign your name on it. We only include
But,
Literally, what it
both
says
said,
is that
Yes,
my
I know what
name
Bo said.
and his name are on there, and that you are in our party. He doesn't know your name. He doesn't know it's you. It just means that you were included when we get paid, and that you have the ability to have a weapon out in places you otherwise couldn't.
And I'll turn to Virdrick and I'll say, which is something I imagine you would very much appreciate, because someone trying to part you from your weapon would not go very well for that person.
I usually prefer to keep my weapon close, yes.
Navarro's trying to get Bo to let go.
We just need to talk a little bit, then go off to your room. Also, I need a room with one of you tonight, because I don't think I have one.
You may room with me
She's out trying to go to her
Alright.
room. You start going for the door.
and Bright Eyes.
Well, we're in the bar at this point.
Killer's
Yeah, you
just
saw her
kind of
go
looking down
The bar.
the table.
So, are we leaving today or tomorrow?
What time is it right now, Guru?
Still before noon.
We
Yeah.
could leave today. Nothing is holding us here as long as we have the visions.
I'm fine with anything. It's just, this place creeps me out a little.
Killer's just looking down at the table, distant again.
He
It's like, oh,
snaps
my
with his
hand.
claw.
Click, click, click.
She doesn't stir.
Are you okay? Hey, he just like taps him inside the face with a claw.
Her breathing's a bit faster than usual.
Are you alright?
Yeah,
Can I inside check that? Yeah.
I mean, she's clearly lying.
Yeah. What's wrong?
She just kind of gets up and walks away.
What's wrong? I don't know her that well. What's wrong? And just looks to the rest of you.
She
I don't know.
understandably did not appreciate being kept out of the discussion. Would have brought her, but she was not here when the guards came, so there was not much we could do about that.
I need to get a gift. What's she like?
She has a few interests. She is a blacksmith. She is an inventor. She created that.
Does she like chocolate?
Out of character, I would know what Kalir likes because Demea made sure to get everybody candy of what they liked, right?
I thought Kalir just ate anything that was handed to her for that.
Yeah, I don't think Demay would have known what she liked.
But what did she give you?
I think she gave me caramel.
She likes caramel as far as I know.
Alright, I'm gonna get a gift basket together at some point.
Are you still holding on to me?
Not knowing he is, yeah.
Well, sweetheart.
Alright, yeah.
Thank you.
Question is, did you already pay for the night?
If not, I'll pay for it.
No, because we don't know if we're staying here. Because if you already paid for the night, then we might as well just stay here.
don't know if we did.
Out of character, you paid for the night that you stayed. You have not yet had to pay for the current night. And as I mentioned before, it is still still sometime before noon.
Yeah, I was going to say it's still morning, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys have not spent that long doing all this.
So yeah, up to y'all what we do honestly at this point.
I need a walk before I'm back on the road.
Want to talk about it?
No.
Well,
But I appreciate you trying to help me.
if you need to talk about it, you know where to find me.
She holds her arms out for a hug before she walks out.
He'll give you like very awkward sibling type of hug.
Pat.
Is the entrance to the cave visible from the bar?
Not from the bar. It's a
Okay.
level up.
Okay. Just so you know, Guru, she's exiting the cave,
Okay.
going towards somewhere more secluded.
Okay. Leaving the cave, you are assailed slightly by the true daylight that is the sun upon your eyes. Just like, oh, the sun. And a few seconds later, as you're kind of like just walking out, you kind of take a moment to pause, so let your eyes adjust. And you hear, hey, another person coming out. As you see a younger humanoid just giving you a little wave, just like, hey, how long were you in there? You look like you've been out of the sun for a while.
She's not really in the mood for talk. Like, she just kind of just keeps walking.
Alright, have a nice day.
I'm sorry, Guru.
Tourists. Yeah, as you're walking away, you just hear tourists. Just lean, as you see him just kind of lean back, just like, eh.
What's the terrain like?
It's currently flat on this area, like a little plateau, and it gives you a slight overlook area where you can actually get a somewhat feel for Tamdov as you're standing at the edge of it.
Is there like
towards
trees,
Tamdov
or is it
Halo?
like hilly or something like that?
Between yourself and looking into this expanse of Tamdov, nearest to the mountain, there's a scattering of a forest. And when I say scattering, I mean there's a large area of wooded area, forest and such, but you can see that there's distinctly open patches where either there's a trail or two that's meant to go through it, or just the way the trees grew, where one may have fallen down due to just old age or something like that.
Hmm.
Eventually it continues on, it gets a little hillier.
She's gonna make her way towards the trees.
You wouldn't have to go too far. There are some trees that are already on the side of the mountain, but you'd be able to go over there.
Okay. Yeah, she'll get there.
So you're trying.
Um, she like her breathing kind of just gets faster, and she just kind of kneels down to the ground and grabs her head. She kind of places her forehead to the ground. She's just like trying to control her
turtle.
breathing. Yeah, struggling.
Yeah.
She, after like a while, probably, I don't know, 10 minutes or something, she'll get up and she'll just start punching the tree.
Before you even do that, right as the 10 minutes is coming to an end, as you're about to get ready to get up and start punching, there's like a sound, just like that feeling in your ear of something like static. That seems like to be kind of like a faint popping in your ears. As you stand up, you can see a faint flicker in front of the tree before it vanishes. Right before you punch it, and you've seen this before, but where'd it go? Do you punch the tree or do you look around?
I suppose I look around.
You look around and, well, you don't see anything. Roll a perception check. After a moment, you see, again, that faint flicker. Still just a short pace or two away from you. Close enough that it's just semi-visible. Not a full image, not a full picture, but it's there. As you watch it, you see it flicker again, and it seems to almost change in its shape. Familiar, and, well, maybe perhaps not the most comforting of sights. You recognize it as what you've seen before. Almost like a daydream or imaginary friend type figure. The figure that led you to the club.
The hand.
The
Oh,
person
no,
with the hand.
The original club.
The
club.
original club, yes. As well as to the club that you found on the hilltop near the Druid's place.
What do they look like?
It's hard to say. At one moment, you swear that they look thin. Not gaunt, but just kind of gangly, like a humanoid. And then the next second, they have that kind of staticky look to their form that changes. And suddenly they're a bit thicker with horns like a tiefling. And then another flicker and pronounced jowls like a lizard folk. And then more a stubby face that's more of a dragonborn. It seems that their form isn't consistent. It's a continual flicker, 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 which you're used to seeing that before, but the fact that it's staying so stable in front of you, that's new.
Hello?
Hello?
Who are you?
You see it like tilting its head from side to side, like it's observing you. Just your face. It's not observing anything else on you, just your face. I'm your friend.
Where'd you come from?
You found me. You invited me to help you.
I imagine she kind of has flashbacks.
Mm-hmm. Flashbacks of having an imaginary friend, just someone that you thought up and wanted to have around. You never really could determine what exactly they would be, and you didn't really care. And eventually, you found yourself just kind of seeing an image like this, finding a club, and having that image seem to sharpen more. Never within anyone else's sight. Everyone else thought that this wasn't real, but you're seeing it. It's right in front of you right now.
Are you real or
Yeah.
imaginary? I can't tell.
I'm real. As real as I need to be.
She's like her. She's kind of like hugging herself, kind of rubbing her arm, sort of up and down her upper arm. Sorry, rubbing her hand up and down her upper.
Mhm.
She's just like
The figure
uh,
steps forward, and there's no physical feeling, but that kind of, you know, that when a limb goes numb, it's got that staticky popping feeling.
mm,
You kind of feel that underneath your chin as your chin is slowly lifted up to look at them. I am never far, always with you. Dig a little deeper. I'll be there with you. You stand too strong. And it holds up 2 fingers when it says 2, to emphasize the number, not TOO or TO.
she just kind of said, "Why'd you show me that club?"
So I could be alive. Without that club, I may as well be dead.
She's just like a few kind of tears are just like appearing. She's like gripping her arm a bit more.
I understand. But I am alive. I don't need anyone else to see me but you. You're special.
I wanted to stop. I wanted to go away.
What to go away?
Everything.
Why?
I don't know if it's real.
You are alive. You hold armor on your body, a weapon in your hand, and people around you. I can promise you, I am real. Only you can see me, because you are special. If you wanted to stop, leave the club and let me die.
She goes to punch the tree.
So you turn your back and then you start punching the tree. Static sound in your ear just kind of fades away. You are punching the tree.
She's gonna keep punching the tree. She'll like take off the gauntlets and punch the tree.
Okay. You're not gonna make headway through it. You're probably gonna end up with some bloody knuckles.
She just needs to release some energy.
Of course. Let me actually. You've been 10 minutes based off of Navarra deciding she wants to go off somewhere else. She's probably going to be a little bit at least, so. Oop. So we'll say you take 5 slashing damage to your hands. So just mark that on your sheet.
Alright. And then afterwards she'll just sit by the tree and start rubbing her leg. Like, she doesn't feel anything, she's just kind of reminded of it.
Meanwhile, with everyone else at the moment, who is currently having their own little needs to take care of. Is there anything else you wanted to do before leaving the city?
Let me double check to make sure I have everything. Do we know how much farther it is to the nearest town?
To the nearest town? There is a town nearby the Colossi Path, which is actually not too far away from where you are. You can't see it from the current location here. But it is, I'd say, at least a good day's journey to get towards that. At which point you'd be able to rest and recuperate there. There's a scattering of maybe 2 or 3 other small towns between there and Ivory Hills. But they're spread out far enough due to the nature of Tamdov.
Alright.
So for the first day, you'd be, you know, get there without too much difficulty for the first day, and then between the first village and the Ivory Hills, which is where you were given directions to check out before. There's no specific time frame. If you ask around, they usually say, which they always say it's from the little town, is from there about around a week.
Alright.
Take that place right there. Somebody wanted to move me there. It's right about there. Just so you have an idea. It's right underneath the Colossi Path.
Welcome back, butters.
Welcome back, man. So, like, right around here.
Ping again?
Right around here.
That's
Everything
way too far to the
crashed.
left.
Oh, like right here.
Yeah.
What are you saying, butters?
Okay.
Everything crashed. What happened?
Where'd you
You
leave?
missed the-
Clear was having a moment.
Big
Like it
moment.
crashed so bad, it took me off a push to talk. That's how bad it crashed.
Jeez.
Wow. Did you hear what happened, or were you just totally out?
Do we know what's up with the Vessel's Purge?
Vessel's Perch is where Bo is
Yeah,
from.
Okay.
Bo stated
Gotcha.
multiple times. That's where he's from.
I just marked on the map so that Bo himself would remember where he's from.
Gotcha.
To catch Butters back up to speed just real quick. We'll actually no, we'll do that. We'll do that after. Just so we'll make sure that we get through this, doing what we need to do.
I'm good.
Okay. Is there anything you want to do in the city before you head out?
Moi.
Walk?
No, him.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, moi.
You.
He would at one point go to the Zadim's room, which Zadim said he was allowed in there, and he would just set up base shells around him, and just try to meditate for a good 30 minutes to an hour, depending on whenever. Basically, whenever people say it's time to go, he'd leave, but he'd just try to meditate because he wants to see her.
Yep. For this period of time, you don't receive anything from her up until the point when you're told to leave, in which case you can gather those up and be ready to go.
Alright, yeah, he'd be down to go.
Right, and Paris, is there anything Naivara is wanting to do outside of what you DM'd me?
Oh wait, I'll give back the wing covers.
Give back the what?
The things that Bright Eyes had to wear.
Yes, they would appreciate that. So they will take that and wish you safe travels.
Hmm.
In Paris?
Let's
Oh.
focus. Okay, again with that.
Paris?
Hold on, she's being sneaky.
I'm muted.
Yes, you're muted. She's being sneaky because she's muted. She didn't know she was
And,
muted.
I said she can't focus, and I wanted to roll to see if she would know if Tommy's passing by.
She would. Barely, but she
But I
knows.
still don't know if she would fucking move.
Arcus will eventually kind of just smack her leg with his tail. Just smack it again. Tilting his head slowly from side to side, just like, come on, smack it again.
And again. And again. And again.
Give me a second.
That's what you said 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, and 5 minutes ago, everything was still blurry.
He leans up and kisses your cheek.
I appreciate the sentiment, but I don't think that'll help.
Doesn't hurt to try.
You might want to change back before someone comes, though.
Shoom. Turns into a cat and just climbs onto your shoulders. Ready?
I might need you to lead me.
Okay. Hops down. Turns himself into a dog. Happy tail wags. Just boing, boing, boing out the alley. Just.
Part of me is slightly disappointed that he can't change his size just for an illusion, but she'll try her best to follow after him. Just see how this goes.
He makes sure that you don't get lost from him. You're stable. You'll keep walking without too much issue. You are a very dexterous lady. Eventually, you are able to get yourselves up the stairs. Handrails were a godsend, as they are helping you, just keep on your feet. And eventually, you make your way towards the entrance, where you're what I think you are, right?
What?
Drunk?
No.
Okay, good.
Hungover.
No, she's not hungover. Something else.
Actually, I'm going to do one more thing. Oh,
Yes,
I'm going to jam this to you.
please.
You secretive boys.
She is, well, to be fair, it's all her rolling all these secret stuff, not telling me what she's doing.
Secretive boy.
Ah. So within like 10 minutes of you getting up and leaving, which would probably be around the time that Zadim and Virdruk would be getting ready to come down. Probably they'll be like a minute behind you. You step outside and it's just bright light. Oh, it's bright light. Oh, it's so bright.
I like her being like, oh, it's bright light. Hey, it's bright light.
Oh, and I realized that all the people declared.
I have missed it.
I forgot there was a cleric.
To be fair, I'm not a cleric of the sun.
He
is
does
not.
so much damage.
We're aware. As you're exiting,
what?
you just hear, how long you been in there for?
Me?
You did
Navarra first. Yeah, you definitely look it. Don't worry, the sun will treat you right. Just be safe with your travels, all right? Also, you might want to get someone to look at that. It looks like it hurts. You get some. Kind of rubs his chin, just like you get something there.
She'll like wipe her chin because I don't think she notices.
Yep. You look at it. It's got like a red smear on there.
What the? She'll wipe up further on her cheek.
More red, and you've probably smeared it on your cheek right now. You can feel a few hairs that are starting to stick to it.
Oh.
Oh, is that a lot? Are you okay?
She immediately scurries to like underneath the tree.
All right. Tourists are getting weird. A few moments later, the rest of the party comes out. Hey, did you miss a friend? Also, you're probably heading in the same direction as Clear, so you'll probably see her as well.
Sorry, what? No, sorry, I was quoting something.
His grenadine for my ice cream
My
treats.
ice cream treats.
Wait, who's heading in the same direction?
Navarra.
That's cool.
Navarra's going to
Oh.
show up in a moment. But before that happens, he is greeting the rest of the party and asking if they lost anyone.
What race is Navarra?
She's a drow. Well, technically,
Half
she's a
elf.
half drow.
Well, we got somebody that looks like one of them old
Elfish
dark
friend?
Yeah.
Yeah, she bolted and ran down that way. I think she got into one of the bar fights downstairs and got a little too tipsy and forgot that she was, hurting.
That don't sound like her. Did she get in fist fights? No, look at the.
No, she is not to provoke aggression from anyone.
Yeah, she didn't look aggressive, but she kind of like rubs his cheek. May have been bleeding a little bit. Either that or she got ale spilt on her and had some of that rolling down her face, but
I was making ice cream.
I'm not one who knows too much about ale, but I'm pretty sure it ain't that strong of a red. Either that, she might have been having a nosebleed, come to think of it. I didn't actually see where the blood was coming from. She wiped her cheek and she had more on it, and her hair stuck to it a little bit. We might run after her. She kind of ran off into the forest. There's not really a creek down until you can actually get closer to the Jeweled Watch. What?
Bo is not next to him at this point.
Yeah, he's running, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Is he doing a pump your arm run?
Yep, clerics do as clerics do, my man.
I figured as much. Also, for Paris' sake... Actually, I can actually look at this. Yeah. Mark off 3 HP.
I did more damage than I thought she did, but then again, that's
You did
also
your strength
very low.
modifier. You're a strong lady. You forget that sometimes.
I do because I don't use it a lot.
I'm aware. That being said, so Cleric, vroom! Virdrick and Zadim looking after him, just like, wait, what? Naivara, you head into, kind of be under a tree, and as you're on one side of it, you hear kind of just the sound of metal, kind of just against metal.
Oh no, she hasn't put on her gauntlets again.
Oh,
yeah.
In which case you don't hear
She's-
that.
Yeah.
You would notice Clear off to the side. She's not being stealthy.
You had noticed that like she kind of has slightly bloody enough, and she's rubbing. One of her hands is rubbing her thigh.
She's trying to move
her
away
left
from Kalir.
thigh. And she is quite like huddled close to herself.
She's trying to move away from Kalir at the moment. Why do you have Twitch open and you aren't even on Twitch? You're on Roll20. Don't lie to me. My Internet Explorer just lost its shit.
I mean, I don't think she would notice that she needed.
Yeah, not within
20 to
18. Yeah.
Yeah, but she doesn't know this.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, just as you're backing away, you're keeping yourself hidden. You also hear of Bo running into the forested area, and with his passive perception, seeing both of you.
I don't think she notices Bo.
Okay, all of a sudden you just like backing up and you run into him as he's behind you. Like a gremlin.
Killer.
She was going deeper in the woods. Why would she run back into you?
If you're trying to get away from Clear, I just imagine you backing up, just then about to turn around, and all of a sudden he's.
Oh no, she's like moving deeper.
Oh well, he's just chasing after you.
Probably would have passed by her then.
So you just all of a sudden you're in your own little world, and it's like that 3-second delay of just this tiny little halfling holding onto his head, just vroom, right in front of you, and you're just like,
It's
one,
like,
two,
God,
three.
what is it?
What?
Is it Lord of the Rings or The Hobbit? Where it's like, where are you going? And he's just like booking it.
I think it's the Hobbit,
I think it's the
but I'm not
Hobbit.
sure.
But yeah, just that 3-second delay, and then just like, wait, what? As you watch and look over, and you see Bo just running into the woods a little deeper.
Khalil wouldn't notice.
Clear. He's just running by.
Hi, Claire. Nice to see you. I'll be with you in a second. Bye. Boom. Ah. Eventually, he's gonna catch up.
Oh, absolutely. At this point, she's just in a bush. Or near, rather.
So, half collapsed and just struggling to have full deep breaths is Naivara, who's looking wide-eyed and
She's still
Considering her
trying to wipe
complexion,
away
she is
something from
pale.
her face.
I'll try to sneak
go
up
ahead.
on her.
You're trying to wet her?
Sneak up.
Roll a stealth check.
See,
Honestly, considering how she is, I don't even know if I should include her passive.
Roll a perception check.
not hard to.
If I
It
nat
says-
one, I still hit. I
it's-
still
it's-
notice him.
No, because
Oh.
it doesn't add the bonuses.
If it's a nat one, it still adds the bonuses.
It does? When does
Yeah.
that started?
That's always been a thing. It's just the fact that if you roll a natural one, it means that the tie goes to the person trying to be aggressive.
He just runs up and goes, "Your group really must have like a respiratory problem or something."
For 2 seconds, you heard her go, "It won't stop," and now she's just staring at you.
What
And the
wrong?
face that you see can be akin to a fucking scared animal.
Zadim, like, makes his way up behind Bo, looking real confused.
Meanwhile, Kalir, you have a dog who is now right next to you, looking very confused and like looking because he notices that the other two are going over. So he's kind of sidles up over and just kind of sits down next to you. He doesn't say anything. He just sits next to you.
Let me see. What's its passive stealth?
Passive stealth.
Oh, God!
Oh yeah,
He just appears next to you.
She doesn't notice that.
He lays down and kind of lays against your side. You don't even notice that.
I mean, if he lays on the thigh that she's rubbing, then she probably would notice as her hand like touches it, and then she would just move her head slowly.
Yep. But
Hey.
he like crawls up into your lap and just nuzzles into your chest, just kind of like laying on your lap just to let you pet him. Meanwhile, with Naivara, just gonna take care of her just real quick. She rolled an intelligence save. She keeps rolling these without informing me that she wants to roll them.
Zadim has an Eldritch Blast, just barely miss him.
Cool.
Wait, it went past? Wait, it just completely went past Bo.
Right
You
over your
are
head.
smaller.
He's like, as you shoot it, he like ducks down, still holding the hat. He goes, "Alright!" Like, this is the first time Bo's ever fully raised his voice.
She
Alright!
dives into the bush.
Zadim walks in front of the bush, sits down cross-legged, and he waits. He doesn't say anything. Doesn't do anything. He just waits.
What the hell did I stumble on?
That's the most ominous thing.
Bo will walk up to the bush, and I'm like Zadim being a good friend, just waiting for her to come out. He goes, "You alright?" I think I know the answer to this one.
There's a good 3 minutes of silence before she finally just kind of pops her head back out. She looks better. She doesn't look like she wants to attack you.
Do you have a reason you said, was it won't stop, and you shot at our good dark-skinned friend?
She just moves her hair and you see that she's been digging at the scar underneath her eye.
No, I don't, because you're healed by this point. Like,
You're what?
You look up at the scar, and it is healed.
The scar is still there, but
But it's not bleeding at all. I'll
Correct.
just mark off. Do I need to roll? Because I think the damage she took, I physically can't roll under.
yeah, there's no need for that. Just mark off the spell slot.
If I get stressed, I get really bad headaches because of this. And I started digging into it, and then I saw blood, and then I don't. What happened?
You shot at Zadim for one.
You're really
alright,
quiet,
you
Butters.
missed.
You shot at Zadim for one.
It is alright, you missed. And I have been hit by worse.
You looked like
Like a scared animal, if I am being honest.
like a small little bear. You look like a real scared bear, but like a smaller, skinnier bear.
I don't remember a lot of that. I'm very sorry.
It is fine.
This
He's
isn't
a
my
bit-
first. This is my first case of somewhat type of traumatic stress. So that's good, at least.
I saw a small blotch, it sounded friendly, and then I saw something big, and I said,
Saw something big. If you want, you can elaborate on that.
You can piece from the way that she is glancing that it was Zadim that set her off.
Would you like to be totally free of your fear for a bit?
Please.
I'll use a second level slot to cast Calm Emotion.
And I'm guessing you're choosing to willingly
Yeah.
let this happen, and you're not
Yo.
afraid.
I have magical version of like no side effect Xanax on me. Like all it takes is a second level slot.
You just have to channel that divine, holy
You want-
peace. Is that
You want
divine?
that slot?
Okay, so Don, I have a
Give me a
question.
slot.
Yes.
With this, does that help me split up essentially what happened and knowing what I saw was not what actually was there?
Without
Well,
the
knowing
panic
what
running
was
through your
actually
head,
there.
without the panic running through your head, and without the fear that was going over you, you are at a level head that makes your mind go 1, 2. Oh my gosh! I almost shot Zim.
But no, like we gotta look. Legit clerics can just take antidepressants, like give out antidepressants for a bit, which is like something I'm just noticing.
I just imagine the crowd. You have.
Oh, you're cutting out.
Oh no!
Wait, what?
You cut out for a
Oh.
second there.
Am I okay now?
Yes.
You're good now.
I just imagine like loads of people, like in some kind of decrepit world, walking up to clerics, going, "I need a slot. Give me a slot." And he's like, "What level?"
Take one of these and call me in the morning.
Fifth.
Give me a slot, man. Give me a slot, man. I ain't got that money right now, but I'm good for it.
No. Are you willing to come to church so we can make sure that you'll be able to pay for that slot later? I promise, man. I promise. I'll bring whatever you need.
Yeah.
He looks at the demon and hugs him. I'm sorry!
So,
He hugs her back.
why? What stressed you out? Mainly.
A lot of things, basically, the past day. Just everything.
Oh. Um.
Oh.
Butters. Butters was
No!
erratic.
Hello?
Do we lose
Hello?
a Butters? There you
There
are.
we go.
Out of the Discord for some reason. All right. So he goes, I've had a heck of a week. I threw my first punch. I was in jail for 5 of the days, and I joined a new party that's already. I never would regret joining you folks, but you folks are scary.
Sorry.
Everybody's got a bit of baggage, But so far, 2 of you have been in the woods doing some weird stuff.
The woods calming down.
Statement still stands. I'm glad that you're okay.
She kind of looks at Nadim. You remember the thing that I told you about this? And she gestures to her eye.
Yes.
When you walked up to me, I saw the paladin who started that hell. And I wanted you nowhere near me.
Should I go? Bo like has this awkward laugh, like heh.
No,
go?
you're fine. It's just a lot to explain at the moment. I just don't want him to think that I just randomly attacked him because he's an asshole or something like that.
Of course I don't.
Okay, good. Does anyone know what happened to Kalir? I remember her walking off, and then there's a lot that's still a blur.
No. I have. Where?
I mean, she wasn't stealthing.
Right.
You
Yes,
probably
but
would have seen her on the way.
Yeah.
I think she was going through a similar crisis you're going through.
It's a
And
one person at a time kind of thing. It's like,
That's fair enough.
I saw
Navarre
her
pats
over there.
herself down. Where's Arcus?
Jumping over to Arcus and Clear. Arcus is like he's like looking at you at Clear, just like on his back, like doing like the whole stretching out, just like give me belly rubs. But at this, like he's like looking at you with like a, it'll make you feel better, kind of look. Just like come on.
It's the doggy give me belly rubs that they know you're
John,
upset.
pet me.
Hold on. What's Claire doing?
Pet me, John. Give me lasagna.
Vodka.
She just kind of looks at Arcus and I assume we're kind of well away from the town city place.
You're in the forest area, so you're far enough away that the village outside of it can't really see you.
She will. What will she do? She'll just kind of. She looks kind of slowly at Arcus. And. Gotta think about that.
I mean, now I'll go from PTSD attack to just a blind rage.
I'm sorry, but part of my mind was thinking I was very tempted to just say as a joke, "How do I get away with this?"
Oh god.
Not until later levels, at least.
No, that'd be funny. My idea was like, what if she's just hiding and like she's actually like a 17th level being, just like big chill.
She casts speak with animals, and she just looks at Arcus slowly, like, where'd Nivara go?
Over
She
there.
looks back. She looks back to where she was
Guru,
looking.
big dog. Technically speak with animals shouldn't
What did you
work.
say?
I'm aware, but he can still speak.
Yeah, so
No, she doesn't know that though.
Yeah.
He's still speaking to her. Over there.
He doesn't work. She doesn't work to speak.
At this point, Zadim would most likely be getting up and going
This is
over.
still while you're having the discussion.
Oh, okay.
Mhm. She would
weird timelines.
Mm-hmm.
she would look slowly at where Arcus would say, and I don't want to see anything.
You can
Blood on Navara's hand and in her hair.
very.
I mean,
you can
she
see.
was in a bush, wasn't she?
She was in a bush, yeah, but you see very faintly the outline of Zadim, kind of just sitting down, and Bo just like looking into a bush, like he's like kind of leaning over, tilting his head, like what's in there? It's just like apparently there's a fun-looking bush over there.
Bo's hair is standing on end. Bo looks kind of stressed.
Cat.
He's just a worried bean.
Colette just kind of looks back to the spot she was staring at.
You
She's just
see a little
like-
paw waving in front of your face, just Ark's trying to get your attention.
Would you like
You
to have
okay?
some calmed emotions?
She's just like, she's just staring, and she just says in dog, just like, is it bad? I just want to. Is it bad? I just want to disappear. Or
Arcus rolls over, just kind of stretches for a second, shakes his entire body, moves. He does the dog thing, where they like jump on their front paws on your shoulder and get like nose to nose with you. He just kind of like pokes his nose to your nose. making you look at him. Just kind of like stares at you for a moment.
Are you real?
Ruff! Yes, I am. You are real
Dog.
too. Gives a lick to your cheek. And he he does the thing where like the dog's getting close and they give you like that dog hug.
How do I know?
You see him like push off and like turn and tilt his head to look at you, just like.
I honestly thought he was going to bite her.
Hold on a second. You're
How do
lucky,
I know? Does this hurt?
You're lucky he has a very strong sense of will at the moment. Ooh, no, he's going to do something else. Hold on. Arcus, buddy, do you still have that thing? Hold on. Buddy. Arcus, friend, buddy.
Funny joke. You got that stuck in my head now, so
You're
thanks,
fine.
Guru.
Kalir, wisdom save, please.
No!
Okay.
I don't think she's too good at those, Guru.
You exactly
worry.
succeeded.
Oh,
Don't worry, I got a 1 modifier.
No, I thought you were a primary artificer. Like you took artificer first level.
Nope.
Surprise. Yeah,
Surprise,
she
motherfucker.
exactly
Well done.
succeeded, but you see him just like, basically it looks like a dog breath, just burp, just all of a sudden in your face of this. Thing is, it's not actually a burp, as it's like this purple gas that just suddenly just shoomp right in your face, and you kind of just wave it out of your face, just like, what? Okay. And he kind of looks at you for a moment, just like,
Did you just do your weird version of throwing up? Just
no, you're over there still.
that wasn't my bow voice.
I know, but yeah, you see Arcus just like tilting his head from side to side, and just then you hear this off as he kisses your cheek. He's like, "Come on!" He hops off your lap and like bounces like does the doggy bounce like, "Come on," as he like motions going towards Nivara, who by this point has come out of the bush and has been healed and is getting her dose of calm emotions.
Yeah.
Claire just. She just sits there for a minute.
You see like a mist of salt water hit her, by the way.
And
That's his
then-
calm emotions. He just
Yeah.
sprinkles his weird salt water.
Do
You
you
spray me in
accept
the
it?
face with salt water, that burns like hell.
It's a
I
mist.
mean, she doesn't resist it, but she's not
Frightened.
feeling any strong emotion. It's more that she's kind of feeling
nothing.
devoid of it, so
So that
it doesn't really affect her that much.
Yeah, she's not charmed or frightened, which ironically would have been incredibly hilarious if he cast calm emotions after Arcus's breath
Oh,
thing.
you are charmed by the dog?
Yes, which means that would have suppressed the charm effect, but that's fine.
Well, the dog trying to charm me.
Yes, to convince you that he was real.
He has bewildering breath.
Yep. It is a charm effect that you succeeded on.
Yay!
Collier slowly looks up at the three over there, and then just
And Bright Eyes. And Verdrick.
yeah.
Verdrick's just looking between the two, just like, I leave them alone for 5 minutes. Maybe 10.
Bridget would probably be back at the road.
Like, he's like standing like behind like where everyone else is at the moment. Like, if I pass between you guys, I'm going to go to the road. I'm not going to stop for a while, so I need to stay here because someone needs to remember that we had a cart.
You should have told me that Virgil was there. That would have made the situation a lot worse, because that's an actual paladin.
Yeah, no, he wasn't over there. He was watching Kalir.
From a distance.
Yeah, just watching. Spartacus is just behind Verdrick, just which, because you had to speak with the animals going, you just hear, come on, man, it's time to go. We got places to be, people to see, and we got things to kick in the face.
Why is this horse so hungry for blood?
It was trained in such manner.
You made me think of the skateboard cap.
Oh no. Skateboards.
Skateboards.
What could have murdered all of these people?
The orphans! Who could have done such a thing? Skateboards.
Khalil will just like she kind of sits up a bit, but she's kind of still just rubbing her leg.
Spartacus moves over and just kind of like nudge, like does the whole horse thing of just bopping you in the side of the head gently and just kind of making a, hey now, come on now, we can't have you out down in the dumps. We got to get up and going. There's things to go up and go kick in the face. You want to come help with that? I need some help with that. I ain't so good at that when they're not right in front of me. If they're right in front of me, I have to rear on back, and if I'm rear on back and someone's on my back, there's always going to be someone who's going to be falling right off. Man, that's always something kind of embarrassing. Just having someone just fall off your back. They're supposed to be on my back.
Every
you guys
time he
against
talks,
eating
I
this
forget that he sounds like Boomhauer.
Alright, so you guys are very against eating the one the Sunday game. How about this one?
No!
Same feeling.
He's been with us actually longer than the fucking mule. Leave him alone.
The mule's just just kind of down. I'm here to help you. This guy's actually like, I'm here to help you out. He's actually using a sidekick mechanics because he's actually trained for such things.
Khalil looks at this horse.
It prances
I don't
back
know why
slightly,
that
just
said
like,
whore.
Oh, look at this whore.
sir.
You know I can understand you.
Oh man, you can understand me. Oh man, that makes things so much easier. Do you understand about how much harder it is? Oh, yep, go ahead.
Heard in a single minute.
Oh, believe me, you think this is bad? You should hear my cousin.
It's
I
been
just
animals
bring
10
my-
minutes.
I bring my hand to his mouth and I close his mouth. Please leave. And then she lets go and picks up her gauntlets.
I mean, I'd like to leave, but I have to leave with you guys because you guys are kind of the ones going with me, and I can't leave you because if I try to just walk away, people are going to be asking questions. I'll just shut up now, but I'll be just standing right over here. Don't worry about me. Walks over next to Virdrick, just kind of like, which she can do it at will. So
Yeah. It's a special ability.
yes,
I look at the Zadim slash. Well, firstly I would.
Dawn,
hmm.
I'm sorry. How badly did I damage the tree behind Zadim?
You
Because
broke
that
off-
was raw.
You broke off one of the branches.
Oh, thank God.
I actually wonder how much damage I did to the tree when I was punching it.
Due to the fact you took off the gauntlets, which means you took off, your gauntlets, you're still pretty strong, but there's a good chunk of bark that's missing and parts of it that are stained a little bit red from your knuckles.
There's
That
a piece. There's parts of the bark
I
that are
mean,
missing. They're
with
located
every-
in your hand.
With every punch, that's 6 damage. So
I mean, it's 4 damage.
4?
Your strength modifier, +1, so 5.
No. The strength modifier comes from my mech plate.
Yeah,
The-
which you took off the gauntlets.
But it's from the mech plate, not the.
Oh, right, the plate itself. So yes, it would be 6 then. Yes.
Um.
So yeah, you've got quite a
Yeah.
few splinters in your hand. You're gonna need someone to take medical attention for those.
Does Bo notice it?
She.
Passive perception, man. Yeah.
He just like waves you to come over. He's like, "Come here."
She picks
Tommy.
up. Shit. Arcus, and she has her gauntlets in. In basically under her other arm, and she walks over to the other.
I see your fist. Come here.
Oh.
I wasn't taught medicine that well, but I know the basics of it.
It's okay. I'll cure it later.
I didn't stutter.
And as he's going to be taking some time to get out the at least half dozen splinters you decided to put in your hand, I think that's a good place to call the episode. Well, that was exciting.
I did want to say one more possible thing to them real quick,
Go ahead. One more thing.
which is he goes, I know I know nothing about you guys yet. You don't know much about me. But for the fun of it, you want information about me, you ask me a question, I'll make a game out of it. Got it? I get to ask you one back. Both have to be honest. So, you want a question? You gotta take one too. Deal?
Deal.
That seems fair.
This is gonna be a fun game.
Alright, and I will actually make that a perfect place to end off on because that will give you guys a week to think of questions.
I think I have a good name for this episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Great
BTS
Depression.
I was thinking something else, but you wouldn't appreciate.
What?
Wait till
You
we're
read-
off stream.
You wouldn't appreciate it. Yeah, wait till we're off stream.
That is that sort of okay.
He's not streaming.
It's recording though.
Well, then
What
end
time-
the
I'm trying to. I'm getting to it.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for watching. If you want, we normally record these. This one wasn't recorded due to the fact that I had a temporary
Stream.
job that really
stream
messed me
days.
over, and it just messed me up. But that being said, we do what?
Guru, this is something that wasn't streamed. I'm pretty sure you're recording it, right?
I'm recording it, yes, but I'm letting
You
people
said it
know.
the other way around. Yeah, you said it the other way around.
Heck,
Yeah, you
I'm
said-
not streaming it. I am recording it.
All of you know
obviously.
what he meant.
You know what I meant. I'm not streaming. I'm
They're
recording.
gonna see this on YouTube, so
Right.
Obviously.
Just keeping him honest.
I mean, honesty is what we strive for. That being said, we normally try and stream on Wednesdays and Thursdays, as well as every other Sunday. So not this Sunday, but the 24th, I think. It might be the 24th, if I'm remembering right. My calendar never wants to come up fast enough. The
Hang on, hold on.
26th. Yes, I was off
Yep.
by a few days. 26th.
Yeah.
Will be when we
Why
are
20
streaming Salute the Sun. In the meantime, for everyone who's been watching this, thank you so much for just being with us, for spending time to actually watch this. It means so much, and you're awesome. So we do want to extend our appreciation. We hope you have a wonderful day, and until next time, we're What Team Comp, and we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye!
goodbye.
Boy.